Every long, long street led me to where you are. Others who broke my heart, they were like northern stars, getting me on my way into your loving arms. This much I know is true, that God bless the broken road, led me straight to Scoot-Doo, Blabbity-Blue, Scoop-Dee. Oh yeah! Yeah, you go for it.
You're on the couch?
Okay, bud, right in here.
You're in the corner. What can I get you?
You got tequila?
I got tequila.
I'll take tequila, baby.
As is?
Sure, man. A little ice wouldn't hurt.
What?
A little ice wouldn't hurt.
You got it.
What a nice guy. Oh, yeah, come on, bud.
So, I have a bit of OCD.
Yes,
so
sir.
I'm going to ask that we just, if there's anything, like, you're already on it, but keep everything on the blanket.
Yes, sir.
And, drink tray, baby.
Yes, sir. You got it, Val. Alvin, you're a good guy, man. You're such a sweet guy. Wow. We're going to have a blast, bud.
You got to tell me when. I'm not much of a drinker. I don't know how this stuff works that well.
Just a little baby. He's just a little guy, huh? Yeah, he's just a guy. Right up to that ice. Man, I'll be happy just like that, my dog. Thank you so much. That's great.
More where that came from. You want water, or is that too old school?
Oh, water would be great, man. I never turn down water. That's rule one.
Room temp or cold, my friend?
Cold would be hot, dog.
No, it wouldn't.
Oh, I guess it wouldn't, no. My boy Alvin, you're so beautiful, man.
Anything else? You need any blueberries?
Oh, great, man. Thank
Got
you.
blueberries.
I'm pretty full on the SpaghettiOs, my dude.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Talk about... I'll be right there. Give your SpaghettiO promo code.
I'll be right there. Give them your SpaghettiO promo code. If they bring back the Raviolios, we're going to be straight, man. This is Teddy Swims. If you go to spaghettios.com/Raviolios, put in my code Teddy Swims for 15% off a pallet.
Earn points by paying rent right now at joinbuilt.com/TYSO. That's JOINBILT.com/TYSO. Make sure to use our URL so they know we sent you. That's joinbuilt.com/TYSO. Start earning points with your rent payments today.
You guys, thank you so much. My name's Rick Glassman. Wait, calm down for a second. Thanks, man. Hey, did you guys have a good time? And if you want to have a good time, why don't you check out one of my other shows listed right here. November 6th, Dallas, Texas Improv. November 7th, Houston Improv. November 8th, Austin at the Creek in the Cave. And November 15th and 16th in Seattle, Washington at Last Comedy Club. Guys, thank you so much. Good night.
This guy, dude, what is going on, bro? Sweet guy.
All right. Let's get this over with. So, you're a musician.
Yeah.
Who I've been trying to have on for 2 years now.
I know, I'm great, man.
And we finally did it.
I'm so grateful to be finally with you, man. Breathing the same air again. Hanging out, buds. Yeah. Dude, how you doing, man?
Good. I actually think I know the date we met.
Yeah. Yeah, because it was... because I run into you at the gym every once in a while, not all the time. I'm not there all the time.
Yeah, but I
get in the gym that often.
Well, I'm trying to, my service is horrible. I'm trying to Google Daryl's, it was his birthday party.
Yeah.
At, 2 years ago. So whenever his
was
birthday
it that long ago?
I think so.
Yeah, I've been on fucking tour basically since then, though.
Yeah. Do this so it's not hiding your face as much.
Okay, cool. I'll just look down at it, kind of do this number.
We got a new audio system, dude. You could even have it lower. People are going to freak.
Okay.
I used to want people to eat the mic, and now I'm like, you know what? Have a taste, but this ain't the entree. The entree's in post-production.
Gulp, gulp, gulp.
All right, man.
Just chock full of it, buddy.
You're gonna I'm gonna have you sing for me. You know that, right?
Sure. What you got?
Oh, I see that you have
Bobby Boucher?
Dragon Ball.
Oh yeah, sure do.
And that's not a blanketed statement.
Come on, baby.
Why number 4?
Well, 4 is the one that that Goku, the original Dragon Ball, he gets sent from his grandpa. Gives him the 4-star Dragon Ball to fly to Earth with. Yeah, and then also when Gohan's a kid, he's got a little hat and it's got the 4-star Dragon Ball on it as well. So the 4 is just like significant for the first one that he came to Earth with. Goku did, and then Grandpa Gohan. That's who it was.
You actually might need to bring this closer. It sounds too much like a nerd right now.
Here,
He sounded too much like a nerd. Maybe.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Oh, cool. Yeah, because you have tattoos on your face, but now you sound like a nerd. So if we could just hear you in here. All right, cool. I think that's better.
Yeah.
Fix that in post. At least have him talk about Dragon Ball Z.
You're an absolute fucking nerd, man. Who are you to talk? Look at this framed Dragon Ball Z picture back here.
That's not a framed picture. That's an original cell. Dude. I wasn't into Dragon Ball or GT as much as Z. I watched some, but...
Well, GT apparently isn't canon anymore either, because they went to Dragon Ball Super, and all the GT stuff is not canon, so they don't
Now
count.
I know what canon means, but for the people that don't...
It's not a part of the story, actually. They kind of deleted GT because it wasn't created by the original person, so somebody, I guess, bought it or something and made a new...
I did not know that.
Yeah, so the GT stuff doesn't matter. You don't have
I
to
know
see
all the
any of
movies weren't part of the canon.
Yeah.
Like Bardock and those things.
Yeah, but from Dragon Ball Super on in one of the last movie, it also is there's the first 2 seasons of Dragon Ball Super, but it also kind of gets swallowed up in the movie too. You could watch the whole you could watch either or. You don't need both of them. Stupid.
I have when I was younger, the only place I could find them where he's getting these VCDs that are Japanese with Cantonese subtitles.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what it meant.
Watching
there was no
the fights.
English subtitles.
You're just watching somebody warm up for an hour and a half, and then 10 seconds of fighting, and then
What is the? I have some of them right down here somewhere. They made. I got them in the Blu-ray. They made was it Sigma? They made the Dragon Ball Z something where they trimmed down all the powering ups.
Oh, so it's just not fucking.
It's
3
not
episodes.
Yeah. And I think it's literally
Give me your energy.
like half of the length, the whole 291 episodes. Now, is Dragon Ball Z what got you into music?
Actually, I think Dragon Ball Z was the first time in my life. I want to say got me into music, but I think it was the first time in my life that I went and did I had the feeling of when you're a kid, and I don't know. I actually talked about this to somebody. There was an ex-girlfriend I was with at one point, and I was asking her about there's this kind of main character syndrome a little bit in all of us that we feel like we want this so the first time I ever saw Gohan in Cell Saga, when he was just a kid and he's just had to save the world, that was the first time when he went Super Saiyan 2, and it was such a groundbreaking moment, and defeated Cell with the one hand
Spoiler alert.
Kamehameha. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, I think that was the first time for me that I was that's me, I'm the one, I'm gonna save the world, and I was just a kid, and it was those type of stories have always kind of inspired me and made me. And I dated this girl Nelly for a while, a few years back.
The dude from Longest Yard?
No, not that Nelly. It was a chick. She was a Cuban girl, and I remember asking her one time. I was when we're playing, what you might be playing, Kingdom Hearts was a big one for me, or
Sure.
watching some movies, and there's always a chosen
Kingdom
person.
Hearts, I remember I was so confused because it had Cloud from Final Fantasy, but then it had Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, it was
and I played it for a little, and I never got into it. And then I got older, and my peers and friends that liked the same stuff as me were that game was awesome, and I never broke into it.
Dude, it's my favorite thing ever. I got the Keyblade on the back of my Mickey Mouse's Keyblade back there on my back of my leg, but I remember asking this girl I was dating at the time,
Nelly.
yeah, it was you know, like, do you never watched any of these movies or any of these shows, or played any of these games where you like see the main character and you're like, that's me, I'm the chosen one? And she's like, no, I've never felt like that in my life. I root for the main character, but I've never had that feeling before. And I was like, really? There's not ever been a piece of you inside of your heart that was like, that's me, the chosen one, the one that's gonna save the world. Like, you never had that like sense of wonder or that sense of like, I have to do something extraordinary with my life, you know? And
I don't know if I felt that.
yeah, I felt like that since I was a kid, and I think a lot of what got me into music and got me into doing something was because I just felt like I was some blessing that was bestowed upon me, some like, you know, anointing from a small age, and I was just like, I'm here to save people and like help people and love people. And
Did that feel like, what did saving people, do you knew what that meant yet?
no, not at all. I didn't get into music until like way later. I mean, I might have been 15 or 16 or something, and
So what, do you think you were going to be like a fireman?
oh well,
Or woman?
yeah. When I was a kid, I really wanted to be a comedian so bad. I remember used to being like stand up and telling jokes in front of my family and stuff and I always wanted to do that. But my fear of it, and I mean, I would love to ask you about this because my fear of it is always like, you know, you're going to bomb one day, you know, maybe as you're getting started or when you're trying out jokes, seeing if they're working, you know, might go here and do something. But the most terrifying thing is because I still, even during some of our sets when we play with my band, I like run a joke, but if a joke doesn't work, I can just be like, well, that didn't fucking hit. Like,
That's
slide.
right. That's what when I'm on stage, if a joke doesn't work, I just go, all right, and I sing a song. I just don't have a great singing voice.
Well, I think that'll be, I mean, even better probably.
The two of us together, dude.
I
Every time one of my song
Outta
bombs,
here.
you just jump up
Yeah.
and sing something. Thank you, Teddy. Anyway, my sister-in-law's fat. I mean, Teddy.
That is like the thing that feared, like it was always the most terrifying thing about stand up for me. It's just like you're just up there by yourself. There's nobody. It's just you and a microphone. It's
We're
probably
the bravest people in the world.
God, bravery. The
Bravest.
bravery it takes is like so insane, and it's something I never could get myself to do without having some sort of backing that was like, okay, well, they'll just slide the song if I, you know, just
Sure.
absolutely bomb on this joke.
I'm not going to be able to be present with you if I don't acknowledge one thing, just because we don't really know each other yet. Do you know that I was completely joking when I was saying that comedians are the bravest people in the world? Because it seemed like you took that as a real thing, and that validated my thinking.
Yeah, I totally think that.
I don't mean that. I wiped my dog's paws when we got into the house. Everything makes me anxious. So I don't really think that being a comedian
his
is the
shoes off.
bravest thing in the world.
Well, I think you having me in here on this blanket, I think that's also really brave of you.
Well, jokes aside, part of my inspiration from starting this podcast was like, I don't really want people, especially people I don't know, in my
Yeah.
space. And like, well, maybe if I film it, I'll be okay with it. Like, there is something about when you're performing. I like talking about my feelings. I'm in touch with my emotions. I don't feel shame and vulnerability. And I'm not judging those that do. I'm just saying I have experience in this and I've been validated from it and I love it.
Yeah.
That being said, there are still some things and some times where it's difficult to open up. It's difficult to be vulnerable either in that moment or about that subject. But for whatever reason, and I think I understand part of it at least, when I'm on stage, or even this, more so stage, but performing, I'll say, there's almost like more of a right to show your soul. So like if I say something that would be ashamed of or embarrassed by, there's strength to it. It's all rules that we make
sure,
up.
yeah.
But there's like I'll reveal some shit on stage. I used to, and feel totally confident with it. And then I would have like vulnerability regret. Like I'll get off stage and I'll realize, ooh, I revealed too much or too soon, or does that make sense?
Oh yeah, dude, I get the same feeling. It's like there's something about being comfortable there and knowing that is. I always like try to relate it to like, I think the stage is, I think more of my living room than my actual living room is. It's like it's my one place that I can just kind of kick my shoes off and be completely and fully me, and with no.
You take your shoes off on stage?
Yeah, always. I always try to make sure I'm just feeling the.
Do you put those socks back in your shoes, or do you change your socks first?
Well, I put them back in my shoes. Yeah.
Go on, I'm interrupting.
I know. That's gonna absolutely send you down a horrible path right there.
Well, now every time you put the shoes on, you got the stage floor. But go. So sorry.
Well, I think there is something to be said about that you get this kind of like this. It's easier to be vulnerable and open and in a space and feel confident when there's people that are, I guess, giving you this this validation like immediately, rather than, and I don't know if it's a validation thing or if it's just this performance thing about you that just kind of lets you lay it all on the table. And I find that and a lot of my life outside of the stage is absolutely full of like, oh man, maybe am I talking too much? Am I being, I'm overthinking so many times throughout my life and my day to day, or like even coming here getting nervous, like, oh man, I just, I want to make sure I'm like, we have a great conversation. And it's like, we're going to have a great conversation regardless. We've always had a great conversation or a couple times a meeting, but when you start overthinking a conversation, like, do I need to have things prepared about what we talk about? Or like, what if it gets dead and we stop talking for a second and there's not anything to say? And then you start overthinking everything. But I think there's something about being on the stage that it just all comes naturally and feels naturally. And
did it always?
No way, dude. I mean,
it's an earned thing, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think the comfortability beforehand come on. Like when I was in high school, I used to be in theater, and like my first performances ever, I would just sit in a hallway and just like stare at the wall for like 2 hours, not eat, not
you
talk.
saying before the performance?
Yeah, just.
Dude, yeah.
Just be freaking out, man. Be sick, man. Throwing up, just getting sick. And I was just like so terrified of the state. I mean, as soon as the first light would hit you,
it's scarier. Scarier anticipating it than doing it. Because when you're doing it, worst case scenario, oh, you're fine. But like beforehand, worst case scenario, you're writing that story.
Yeah. You're absolutely writing that story. And I find that the longer I've done it now, I don't really get nerves as much anymore. Before I go on stage, it's more so. I wouldn't say I get nerves. Like I always do when it's like 30 minutes right before I jump on, because like I'll have like it doesn't matter how solid I've been shitting all day. It's just like I am absolutely gonna fucking have chronic diarrhea 30 minutes before I go on.
You don't,
no
though,
matter what.
It just feels like it.
Well, I mean, I end up fucking squirting about.
Oh, you always have diarrhea before a show,
right? 30 minutes before.
So that's
weird.
fun. That's a fun thing for people to know, that like when they're like, once they've been seated or when they're walking in, to know that like Petty's somewhere having diarrhia.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a hot take.
There might be something about your diet though. I mean, you're drinking tequila and talking about having diarrhea and you don't know why.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
certainly,
noon.
I definitely realized that I was an alcoholic when not everybody has diarrhea.
Are you an alcoholic?
I wouldn't say. I try my best to take breaks here and there. Like I'll take like a month here, a couple weeks here, just to try to like stay on top of it. But I do find that if I have a night, like I'm in the studio and I'm drinking, and the next morning I'm like, fuck, I don't want to feel like shit, and I'll have another, and then.
So you think drinking will make you feel better?
I'll kind of binge a little bit at times, but I don't feel like an alcoholic as much as I go on a certain little.
I have an analogy.
Benders, I guess,
It sounds like when women will talk about how they're breaking out, so they put makeup on, but that makeup doesn't let their face breathe.
Right, and so
they have to keep doing it.
That's kind of and I feel like I've in my life too have used it as a tool, which is where the scary part of it comes, is because with alcohol it's one of these things that can, there's some days where I get so anxious about social settings, and I know there's going to be thousands of people in a room, or people that are hi, and if I don't have this, or you got to meet this person from here, and if I don't have,
I mean, you're doing this is my stand up.
Yeah,
I mean, it's sorry. I hear you. It's tough.
Yeah, so if I don't have a couple of these guys,
but
I got
that ain't sustainable. I don't know. Yeah,
it's
and that's
not
not my place.
Sustainable. No, you're absolutely right.
But that's you're not trying to make your social situations more comfortable. You're trying to make you more comfortable.
Exactly. Yeah,
I will say
I'll receive that for sure.
I will say that as somebody who deals with OCD and anxiety, and I can empathize with you, maybe from different reasons, but the same feeling. This isn't news, but like I went through a breakup that was really, really hard. Breakups are just really, really hard.
Yeah, sure.
And I had a day where I was having such a hard time. A friend gave me a Xanax, and I took it. And I'll tell you something. Those things are magic.
Yeah, life changing.
But while I was on it, I was aware that it was a drug. Does that make sense? Like, I knew that this was like, almost like if I had a cut and like I painkiller, so the pain wasn't happening, and I could still see it bleeding. It's like this isn't sustainable. I just remember feeling that. So I tried something else, and I just tried. At the time, there was this brand that went out of business, which it's a bummer because they were awesome. But it was the CBD business, and. Do you ever take CBD?
Yeah,
just straight
absolutely.
CBD.
Yeah,
Does it work
great.
for you?
Man, it's such a calm inducing. Even if I smoke weed, I can't do like a pen that's just like straight 99% THC or something. Like the CBD is the thing about that, because I'll get anxiety from weed sometimes if there's not the CBD in there kicking.
Do you ever take just CBD?
Down. Yeah, it's beautiful.
I want to get a free plug.
I got
to
CBD
Wilds.
gummies. Like I take.
Wild?
All the not wild, but I'll go buy some. There's some right down the road from my house, and they do like. Also, man, microdosing mushrooms. There's like.
I want to. I haven't done it yet. I want to try it,
dude. It's so great. I've done these little gummies, and there's like 0.1 gram of mushrooms, and those are also so great for just like giving you a lift and like giving you just this kind of you don't feel anything other than just like kind of a mood boost and not. I think that like. Piece of your brain, that the anxiety part of your brain kind of gets shut off for a second, and there are definitely other ways like CBD or like.
Have you tried CBD instead of drinking when going to a social situation?
No, I have not. No, I'm just go straight into that.
Before I forget, you said something that I have an opinion on that I want to not challenge, but tell you where it differs. You said that going on stage is something about the validation, and you said maybe it's not the validation. I don't believe it is, specifically because it's happened for me where I was not being, at least not positively validated. I think there's something about it that it's permission. I feel like we have permission.
Yeah.
Like I'll sometimes be talking and I realize I'm talking too much or I'm doing too many bits, but when I'm stage, that's what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm allowed to be doing this. When I'm revealing stuff, that's what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be expressing myself and finding different perspectives that I may not have had until I was on stage. But also what I've learned is that like that permission isn't I'm projecting the audience is giving me permission. It's really just a choice that we make. And like, oh, I have permission to be this thing. And that's kind of translated into my real life some of giving myself permission and a little bit of grace to, not that I'm necessarily supposed to be doing this, but like it's okay that I did, like I'm not perfect, which I don't, it feels great to say because my whole life because I'm kind of perfect, I'm kind of perfect, but I'm not quite.
Yeah.
Kind of like your THC, like 99%, maybe. But the point I'm making is like
so
there's something about like giving yourself permission to be anything, whether that's main character Gohan or a singer or whatever. But there was like this learning curve of going up there and having this feeling of like, I have permission that like, maybe I shouldn't. But I'm talking about like revealing too much that I felt bad after. Like there's, or one thing I made a point never to do. I don't like to talk about other people. And that includes other people's business. I don't mean that like other people's secrets. I don't know if like, I have two friends that I'm very close with, and I know that they're friends with each other. This person asks for this person's phone number. I'll say I have to ask, just because I don't know where the line is.
Yeah, sure.
So like, yeah, just giving permission getting permission is a thing, and then like, once something is all my business. Anyway, I'm going down a thing. I haven't had coffee in a while. It's actually technically tea, but I feel the caffeine kicking in, and now here's one of those things. I gave myself too much permission to talk. I want to chill.
Well, I love exactly what you're saying, though. I mean that giving yourself permission. If I could find more ways in my life outside the stage to also give myself that same permission, or feel like other people around me are giving me that permission to share, and not feel like maybe I overshared, or am I oversharing, or am I to being. I feel like that's the thing you're saying, is that maybe I'm more mindful about my sharing and my interactions than I am when I'm on stage. On stage, I'm not so mindful. I'm just like,
because you believe they want to hear you.
Yeah, I believe that everything I say is like Well,
Go on.
that's what they're here for.
Yeah.
So fucking whatever I got coming out of my mouth is going to be hopefully a blessing that they get to take home, or at least a lesson what not to do. You know what I mean?
It's also like permission to like, you're like, oh, I'm not oversharing. It's like, maybe you are, but like, now I don't want to spin about it. I used to get.
Yeah, that's the spin. The spin is the fucking issue. Yeah.
I know people get embarrassed. I don't get embarrassed that often. And sometimes when I get embarrassed, I'm spinning. And I'm wondering, am I like this because I don't have the tools to deal with embarrassment because I don't get embarrassed that much? Or is this what everybody feels when they're embarrassed? Oh.
Dude, I have that same thing about embarrassment, man. I can't tell you the last time I felt in my life embarrassed. Like, I don't know the last time I've ever felt, because I could be naked in front of people and be okay with what I fucking gave myself and God gave me, whatever this is. It's like, I could be
Whatever this is.
Yeah, I could be
so
happy.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I think the embarrassment is such a, I think it's just strong. Like, I think it's something that I wish I had more of in my life, though, because I think it's such a thing that teaches you, boundaries in a way, right? And sometimes I feel maybe I'm a little too open and too strong sometimes. I come in just hot.
Why? Why do you think you are? Because I can relate.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's always some piece of me that feels like people are sometimes afraid to be vulnerable, and I attack that head on with being overly vulnerable, and sometimes pushes some people away. That's like, I'm in way too hot, and immediately like,
31.
I love you, yeah. And I just come, I love you, like, here, let me tell you all about this. And sometimes I just give way too much, way too strong to people and scare people off. And I always say, well, if I'm too much for them, then I'm not for them, and it's like, that's one way of looking at it, but also it's like, you can calm the fuck down and learn some boundaries and learn some other people's boundaries and respect people's, rather than come on too hot and try to dump everything.
Feel you expressing yourself gets in the way of somebody else's boundary?
Well, sometimes I feel I come too strong to people. I feel like sometimes I'm always just this, I think it comes from this, I don't know, maybe it comes from a validation thing or something, but I feel like I want to come into a room and if there's somebody there, that I want them to know that they're important, they matter, and they're beautiful, and I love them.
Because you want to feel that way.
Yeah, probably so. I think it's maybe a projection in some way as well that I try to put on other people, but I feel like I also have been in a time in my life where I felt so trapped inside of my own emotions and skin and body that I feel sometimes there's, especially with men, and in this day and age, I feel like men are sometimes so tough, and they're not told enough how beautiful they are and like how wonderful they are. And not to discount, women they go through in a week every month more than we'll ever go through in our lives. Like, a woman's got it way harder for sure. A woman's got it way harder for sure. But I think there's this masculinity about men that I sometimes I want to break down, that like, because I was like held so much by my father and just reaffirmed by my father so much and hugged, and he still holds me and kisses me and just, love you, son, my baby, and darlings me. And and I feel like that's just like, there's so many men in the world that just didn't have that kind of upbringing, or didn't have that kind of openness, and they're kind of tough about things, and they just like kind of hold things in and just let things eat them alive and feel trapped in their skin without saying. And so I'm just always like, you're so pretty, man, you're such a beautiful boy, come on, dog, you better, and I just always I wish men could
talk
feel
to people the way people talk to their dogs.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah.
You're such a good boy. You really are. You're such a good boy.
Sweet
You're
boy.
so sweet. Look at you. Do you think you took a poopy outside?
Yeah, I got a boy.
Are you close with your mom?
Yeah, I am, man. I'm really close to my mom. Growing up, like she's and where she's at now, she's like single again, and I found a lot in our life, like she was kind of with men and married and then divorced and then with this guy for a while, and had this like fear of being alone, and that was like tough when we were kind of coming up. But as now she's really in herself and really like finding her herself, and is such a wonderful, wonderful human being, and she's so proud. But I think the only thing is I spent a lot of time with her on her loving what I do, and she kind of like loves the little, somebody wrote about me in an article, and I was, sometimes she kind of likes the star thing.
Of course.
But then she kind of calls me and is just freaking out like, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how all these people want to call me and ask me for tickets, and they want to call me and interview me. I don't know what to do with this. And I'm like, Mama, we'll just put your shit on like private.
Oh, I told my be on
but
private.
She wants to be in the eye, but then she hates it at the same time. And she's just like, I don't know how to be a famous mom. And I'm like, Mama, you don't have to be. But this piece of her just loves it. And so my thing is Mom, just don't say anything stupid. You got to just like,
don't respond to people.
We're gonna have to do some intense media training, Mama, before you get too in the public eye. Like we're not out here taking you to the Grammys. That's for damn sure. You know what I mean? We got to get you some proper, so you know how to just not be this.
Does she interact with people and you get scared? Like, is there any of that?
Yeah, dude. And she did this, like, she'll post things on. I remember when I was first getting signed, like, and I was talking to a bunch of labels and stuff. And
when was this?
2019. So right before the pandemic, I was talking to a bunch of labels and stuff, and she just posts on Facebook, like, she goes, for anybody that's wondering what's going on with Jayton, he started a label bidding war with Sony and Warner and Universal, and just naming off these. I was like, Mom, you got to delete. You can't be posting that shit. That's so fucked. Why would you say that?
That's
it could ruin everything I got going on right now.
Did she take it down when you asked?
Yeah, but she just kind of gets these like over spills about shit, and she's just like
you.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, or like her rather, I guess.
Yeah.
Way too just. Here it is. Here's my business for everyone and my son's.
That's
business.
what I was talking about. Yeah, there's a self-awareness to like be who you are, but not let that get in the way of other people or of yourself,
Totally.
So like, well, I'm excited about my son doing this. Yeah, but like, we're in negotiations, baby.
Yeah, you can't do that, baby.
That's funny.
This episode is sponsored by Built. Listen up, renters. Ever feel like you're stuck in this loop of rent payments, just watching your money vanish into thin air? It's time to turn that rent game around and start earning some serious rewards. That's where Built Rewards comes in. Built is breaking ground as a neighborhood rewards program that hooks you up with points on your rent every month. Pay your rent and watch the Built points roll in. Use your points to jet off on a dream vacation. Put your points toward a flight or hotel, stay with 500 plus airlines and 700,000 plus hotels and properties. You can also use your points to book fitness studio classes, redeem them toward a future rent payment. They're designed to meet your lifestyle. Pay your rent hassle-free through the Built Rewards app. Your rent game just got a major upgrade. Built points have been consistently ranked the highest value point currency by the Points Guy and Bankrate. What's cool about Built is it lets you earn points at home, in your neighborhood, and on travel. There's bonus time. Earn points by paying rent right now when you go to joinbuilt.com/TYSO. That's JOINBILT.com/TYSO. Make sure to use our URL so they know we sent you. Joinbuilt.com/TYSO to start earning points with your rent payments today.
So in 2023 was it when you kind of popped off now?
Yeah.
Because I met you before that, but I was a big fan. When I saw you at that birthday party, I had been following you for a while.
Yeah.
And
we had hit it off. Like,
you were doing
away.
covers for a while. Love a cover. I mean, that's the move. Like, you can't, as a comedian, you can't, like, I'm going to start off doing other people's jokes until they like me.
Yeah, that was quite a thought, yeah.
Because when you go up and do somebody else's song, we're not thinking it's your song. We know. The credit is built in. Like, we know that's somebody else's song. And if you're doing a song that nobody knows, hopefully you give them credit when you go up there, or an artist. And that's typically what's done. With jokes, it's not that way. But when you hear somebody sing, I actually have a friend who I told you when I first asked you, I want him to come over because he's an amazing musician, and I want him to play a little bit because I want you to sing.
Okay, great.
But I used to go. We used to live in the same building, and I would go to his place. He's an amazing musician, and he writes. He's fantastic. But also, I wanted him to sing certain songs for me. I'll hear a song, and I'll then YouTube and search every cover I could find of it. I mean, I'm a huge Gavin DeGraw fan.
Oh man, what a voice!
I play the piano and I play his songs, and I don't have a good singing voice. And I play like I want to hear somebody do it. So like, I'll learn a song on piano and then I'll go watch everybody else singing it.
Yeah.
So I would go to his place. I would be stoned and I'd be like, will you play? And I would just tell him things I want him to play for me. And he plays and it's fantastic. What was the point? Why did I bring this up? Oh, right.
Covers or something, yeah.
So you go cover, and I found artists then like from just looking up covers, and then I find their original stuff. And then like, this is awesome. But that doesn't mean they're necessarily gonna blow up. But you did. And it was really cool because I'm already following you before you're on American Idol. You know what I mean? So like, I felt about you in a similar way to how I felt about LeBron. I'm from Cleveland. I played against him.
Yeah, sure.
And I played against him
Really?
before everybody knew what was going on. But like in Ohio,
But you knew he was a fucking badass, yeah.
Yeah, we knew that, especially after we played. And then we played him again, and he was just on the cover of Sports Illustrated, and now he's blowing up. But it's like, I knew about this guy for a little bit. So there's almost like this sense of like, I don't think pride's the right word. I don't know you, but there's this sense of like, nice.
Yeah, I think without saying pride, I think there's a sense of, and this might be the wrong word too, but I think there's a sense of ownership to it too. That
I found something that was great.
Yeah, and I knew it, and then I think there's a piece of reaffirmation when you see something happen for somebody that you knew was happening for a long time, and you get this like, maybe there's a reaffirmation or an ownership to it too, that when you were the first one on the bus and people jumped on the bus, you were like, see, I knew that
maybe
what I thought was good is good, and maybe that's also something you take into your life and like your gut, following your gut, because I've done this where even with our Success on Lose Control, there was something about it when we wrote the song that was like, I knew this song was going to change my life. I knew I just finally nailed it.
Yeah?
And I never felt like that about a song before. I was like, oh my God, whatever's happening right now, this is going to, I don't know, but I just felt in my gut like, this is it. This is what I've been working for. This is the kind of shit that I've been writing, the bad songs I wrote, the songs that I was trying a little too much in, to finally find this one little thing and this sound. And then it hit my gut in a way that it was like, I know this is going to actually change my life. And watching it still be changing my life as we talk, it's like, it's there's something so reaffirming about like me just trusting my gut and knowing that my gut was like completely correct, even if it was something a little left field, even if it was something not straight down the center, but just knowing that something that I said, I knew this was right, and then, or I knew this was good, and then other people reaffirming that down the line way later, and it's still getting reaffirmed daily. It's like, oh, my gut was correct, and it made me start putting in my life other things too that were just like, stop overthinking things, even when it's in social settings, just stop overthinking things, stop like over trying to, because I find a way, if I will get in the way of thinking, like I'll just think and get in the way of such blessings and such beautiful things in my life. If I had a friend one time in my life that my good friend JonMichael Bridges, he had told me, man, he said, look, man, if you can tell me one time in your life that your gut was wrong, you might have gave somebody the benefit of the doubt, but like, even if it was like, you knew this was kind of going on, but you were like, maybe it was in regards to a relationship, and you're like, is she doing, I don't know, but I'm going to give her the fucking benefit of the doubt here. And then you find out later on that your feelings were reaffirmed, but you were trying to give somebody the benefit of the doubt. You could do that, and that's okay. That's a great learning experience. But he said, if you can tell me one time that your gut was ever wrong, I'll shut up now. And I thought about it, and I was like, well, everything that was bad or good in my life, I did feel like my gut was telling me this is going to happen, or this is going to happen.
Diarrhea before every show.
Yeah, and I think there's something so.
Your gut. Do you feel it in your gut?
Yeah.
You feel it in your gut. You're not saying your intuition. You're saying an actual physical feeling that you have.
I don't know. I mean, I guess it's an intuition, but I don't know why we call it a gut feeling.
Well, I do know that sometimes, like when you feel certain things, you feel something in your head, and your chest gets tight with anxiety. Your gut with certain things, and like your legs could shake. Like I don't know what all of it means, but like there are certain things that connect to certain emotions. And I was curious because of the diarrhea thing. I was making a joke, but also inspired, because when I get nervous, I in my senior year of high school, I think I was late 85 days because I had stomach aches, and my mom took me to school. Like when I get these stomach aches, and I don't know, like, and then there's also these feelings, but like how much of them are there are certain feelings you actually get in your stomach that I like. Yeah. I feel like, what is that? Am I nervous? and then there's like that gut feeling where it's not in my stomach. So I don't know if
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if like I don't know why we call it a gut feeling when it's like.
I think some people do when they feel something in their stomach that means something. But for me, I just think it means I'm scared and I have to poop.
Yeah, sometimes it can feel that
But I'm
way.
saying that
for
literally
sure.
gets in the way of my intuition.
Yeah.
I sometimes then like when I have a certain gut reaction to something, I then like think like, no, did I eat something? So I have a hard time sometimes. My intuition is so strong. I'm like, I don't know. I question it a lot.
Well, see, that's what I'm getting at. That's the main point there. Is I'm trying to get at is that I think that when my intuition kicks in, I'm very quick to like try to cut it off and say no and try to turn it off. And I feel like that's gotten away, at least in my experience, it's gotten in the way of what like blessings are actually being thrown at me. If I just listen to it, my intuition, I just listen to it and I just react on my intuition and just move with my intuition and like just fully try the best I can to exist on intuition. It's helped my life so much and it's changed my life so much rather than I don't want to slow down the overthinking process too much because there are some things, but I feel like the overthinking things, like the things that don't trust your intuition are the things that are those are the things that are there to protect you, you know? So those are the things that are say, well, I don't know if you should react too much on that. I don't know if you should just dive right into that pool because your intuition says so. Maybe you should, what if you get hurt? What if you get this, you know? But I find that if you can turn off that, the safety measures on your intuition and just act in intuition, I feel like I've had a whole lot more success in my life just with relationships and love and career even and music and whatever it is that I feel like if I just act on my intuition, and I think that's why while we're talking about on the stage, I think you're just straight up just kind of going with just intuition. There's never a thing that crosses into your mind when you're on stage that says, I don't know if I should say this dumbass thing.
I get what you're saying, but that's still there. Not the same, but yeah, they're definitely, I mean, I would just be saying
you kind of burn past
crazy
those.
shit.
Yeah, you just burn right past those little burners in the back of your brain, you know?
I don't mean to challenge you because I get what you're saying and I agree for the most part, but not trusting your intuition is different than being able to question it. And I do like there is still something to be like for example, my intuition on stage was to share so much stuff. Then I started to learn, why am I sharing this? I might come up with an answer that I'm okay with, in which case do it. But having that gate, that filter of the why, I think still, maybe it's also because my intuition sometimes doesn't service me. I don't know. But I do know that like when I have a strong intuition about something, I feel for me, at least where I'm at currently, it's best not to say it's wrong, but to ask why.
Yeah.
I need to know why, because without the why, I don't know if I just, like I said, ate something or I'm in a mood or like chemically they say don't go to the grocery store hungry.
Yeah,
Don't make a phone call when you're angry.
Analogy.
Like,
yeah, that's a great analogy. Yeah.
So how much is this intuition based off of what's I feel is in my best interest, and how much am I call it drunk, not from alcohol, but chemically drunk, like hormonally drunk. Like, do I have an adrenaline rush? What's going on? So like, oh, well, I was anxious about this. Maybe that's why I feel this way. So that does slow down trusting the intuition and gets into that mindset that you get in sometimes too, you said, of just like questioning. And then sometimes I question, then I get my answer. But then I'll like, well, let's see if that's right. And I think that's where I can maybe just trust the answer and move on.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It certainly does. I think that I think your intuition might tell you something, but I think those other thoughts or that other piece of your brain that comes in is to ask the whys what am I also trying to get out of this first off, but also like I think those are some things that are keeping you safe. The question your intuition is a good thing, I think, but to if you could find the answer why and do it, if I could find a way to question my intuition but still act on my intuition and not talk myself out of my intuition. That's my issue is sometimes I'll just talk myself completely out of that.
Ask the question, you get the answer. It matched my intuition, but I'm like, no.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm ready for that.
Breakups are one of those.
And
then you're both like personal relationships or professional. Like
and
sometimes.
then you're stuck in a relationship for the next 10 months and you're like, well, I fought this hard for this long. Now I got to just like keep seeing it through because I know it's going to get, and you just know in your gut it's not getting better.
Know when to fold them.
Straight
know when to walk away, you know when to run.
You gotta count so money.
It's actually a statistical. It's like science of it. Like
at the table.
once you have the chips in there, people there's like a psychology of like, oh, I already put $200 in. What's another 30? But once that $200 is in, it literally isn't yours anymore.
Yeah.
Statistically, by going by what I already have in there instead of what's in there, but like what I'm losing, like this idea of. That's fear-based. Like I want to put more money in, not because I think it's best, but because I'm scared of losing what I already put in.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's where like you could question, like, I got the answer. This isn't best for me. Yeah, but I put in 2 years, or I put in $400 or whatever. It's like, yeah, that's I don't remember the steps of grief, but like negotiation is one of the earlier ones, right?
Yeah, man,
and
that's such a beautiful. And your brain works so well in analogies like that. It's putting it right in the perspective. It's that thing. Like, what's another 6 months? It's like another 6 months. Are you kidding me? It's another 6 months.
Also, it's a
life-changing amount of time.
It's not a 6 months that could have been this.
Yeah,
like it's not just 6 more months. It's also cannibalizing opportunities elsewhere.
Right. It's a whole life-changing amount of time. Like 24 hours. Putting another 24 hours when you know you shouldn't. It's a life-changing amount of time.
Making me anxious, which is not a bad thing. I'm just saying that, like.
Well, thank you for being honest.
I'm aware of like some things where I'm like I'm questioning things too much, even after I've acted on them and I've made decisions where it's like, well, did I make the right one?
Yeah, well, that's I think that's a healthy thing. I hope
yes, it is to an extent, you know. And then there's CBD.
Yeah.
So listen, like I was saying, I have been so into your voice since before I met you and before things started moving in such an awesome direction. Now I'm seeing so many clips, dude. It's Ed Sheeran and you are the ones that, for whatever reason, planned or not, you're walking by street singers busking, and you're like, I'm gonna jump on stage with them. And it's like, there was one that you did in London with some guy. I forgot his name, but I feel like I've seen him before. I used to spend a lot of time in London.
Yeah.
And I know, was it Piccadilly? I don't remember what it was. I've been where you were. And like, I walked up watching those people sing, but then it was like you walking up, watching them singing your song.
Bravo. So good to meet you. I lose control when you're not next to me. Yes. You don't break in my heart, baby. You made a mess of me.
And then joining them.
Man, dude. So Victor, he actually ended up because of that. Like that first one in London we did. We had planned that one, and I went to go meet Victor and Victor Ray, and I'm like such a big fan of him. I'm such a big fan of him. So we went and busked with him in London, and we ended up doing like a show a couple days later and had him come up and sing.
Oh, cool.
And then he just did my last London tour with me too. And
amazing.
We've ended up being like some of the best friends in the world, man. That guy has got such an incredible voice. And,
yeah, he's fantastic.
And it was my little brother that put me on to him. He's like, Victor Ray, when you're out in London, you got to like.
Cool.
So he was
because he
like,
follows his street performances.
Yeah, he was like, holy shit, you just sang with Victor Ray. And I was like, bro, like, first off, I'm like way cooler than Victor Ray, bro. Like, you just forget that I'm your big brother. Like, you're just like, you sang with Victor Ray.
Gohan going through puberty.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like I'm still going through puberty every day. But me and Victor have this. We have this. He's like my best friend and my arch nemesis too. We just have this. Me and him get to singing together, and it's like it's like this competition thing where we're just trying to out sing one another, and it's such a beautiful thing we have. But yeah, I'm always like, dude, why the fuck do you like Victor Ray so much, man? You're my little brother. Like, dude, I'm way cooler.
Well, ask some questions of why that bothers you so much. But I bring this up because I want my buddy George to. I want to ask you to sing things.
Yeah, I would love to, man.
He's gonna come up in a sec.
Cool, can't wait.
I've felt this way a few times, and it's almost always with musicians. Lawrence the band?
Yeah, man. So I haven't got to meet them in person, but I got a little T-shirt. They sent me a box not too long ago with a T-shirt and the record. And
the Family Business.
Yeah,
album.
yeah.
Shout out to Family Business album. Get it on Spotify or wherever the fuck. Incredible.
But I haven't met him in person, but
so I had him on my
beautiful.
pod, and I had been following them for a while too. And what's so cool about having this podcast is now I could reach out to people I'm a fan of, and they want to come on. It's like great. And I set up the piano, and I'm just sitting here, and I'm just like, will you sing this for me? And it's like, it's the best. I've said this on I think almost every podcast where I've had people do it, but it feels like I have these amazing musicians work for my rich dad. And then they're like, just go to my son's place and just sing for him. Like you guys are doing me this huge favor. And I want to feel safe in that because I want to like ask, will you sing this and will you do this and will you do that? The way I would do with George. So like at any time you could be like, Rick, no more.
Bro, I sing anything for you, man. I'm so grateful and lucky I get to do this for a living. There's no time. It's shutting my mouth is what I got to learn to do, man. Because I'll sing and sing and sing and sing. I love, this is the best job in the world. We get to do this. I mean, just because I did this and you did this and we get to meet and
I know.
And we're buds and we meet. I'm just like, what a beautiful life. We get to have this. And I mean, there are times for sure where, you know, I've been doing this thing lately where I've been trying to just reprioritize gratefulness is what I've been calling it. And like, cause some days it's like, you wake up and it does kind of feel like a job, but I think it's like any relationship. It's like, I'm going on 10 months with this girl and it's every morning I wake up. If I'm with her for 20 years, it's not like every morning I wake up, I'm going to be like, wow, what a great day loving you again. Like, there's going to be days where it's just not quite all the way there. And you got to decide happiness. You got to decide gratefulness. You got to decide love. You got to choose those things.
Yeah.
And if I reprioritize that gratefulness in my brain and say like, some days where it's just like, fuck, I don't want to be up at 6 a.m. at a goddamn radio station. Then I'll like look at myself and be like, dude, you're in Brisbane right now, up at 6 a.m. at a radio station. People care about what you have to say. Why are you bitching?
I have a perspective on that.
Yeah.
Why are you bitching? That's great. If you could trick yourself into believing why are you bitching because you should be grateful and you're okay, then more power to you. But what I have discovered was a perspective as the reality is, it's sometimes because we're living a dream and we're doing our thing. Sometimes it's easy to forget it's a job because it doesn't feel like it a lot of the time. It is. This is our job. And like, instead of being like, oh, I shouldn't be upset, I'm like, there's things I don't want to do, but like, I guess giving myself grace of like, I'm a complainer. I'll complain. I don't want to, like my call time is at 6 a.m. and it's an hour away. I have to wake up at 5. And though, yes, sometimes I could be like, oh, I'm grateful I have this job. I'm so glad this and blah, which is true. But sometimes that doesn't do it for me. And then those times it's like, yeah, well, my dad has been waking up at 7 a.m. 6 days a week for 40 years. That's kind of what it is. So just go to work.
Yeah, just give yourself grace to just bitch sometimes is what you're saying.
As a Jew, let me say, complaining is a love language.
Yeah, that's a beautiful. Thank you too. Thank you for that. I received that. That's a great.
Gratitude
awesome.
first.
Yeah,
but let's be real. That doesn't always work.
Yeah. Yes, there's some days you can't quite convince yourself that I'm so lucky to be here.
Yeah, so it's okay. But just be upset about it on your way there. You
Yeah,
know, like
yeah.
don't not do it. Don't be stubborn. But
Yeah.
like, fuck, I'm tired. I don't want to fucking do this. And it's like, I don't know. You got to find I have them. I'm in my family, but find your people that like, hey, can I call you and complain to you?
Yeah, there's
Because there's some people you can't complain to.
Yeah, you can just bitch about something real quick. Yeah, I need to be mad right now.
Yes.
And I'm gonna just.
But don't be mad to your friend who's looking for a job.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be mad to your friend who has one and also doesn't want to wake up early. Speaking of a friend, hey, are you here? I'm coming to the front right now.
Let me and stand it up so I can shake this man's hand when he comes in.
Oh, so you could be very southern?
Yeah.
Southern gentleman?
Exactly.
It is a hot one.
Hey,
What's up,
brother.
man? George.
Hey, I'm Ted, man.
Good to meet you, dude.
Or Jade, whatever you prefer. Hey, bud.
He has a stage name and a real name.
Oh.
But when you give somebody both of them and say whatever you prefer, I feel like everyone will be like, I don't really have a preference. I think you need to tell me what to call you.
Yeah, sure.
I was confused for a second.
Yeah.
But wait, so what's your real name?
Jayden.
Jaden.
J10 with a T.
J10.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I could put you on the couch.
That's so cool, though. Why'd you go 10?
I don't know. That's my mama did it. Yeah, Jayden. Yeah. J10.
No, I'm saying J10.
Yeah,
is
why
a
did
cool
you
name.
change it to Teddy? You saying?
That's a cool name.
Yeah, dude. Well, so when I was coming up in church and stuff, my granddad was a Pentecostal pastor, and when I was like going through and waiting tables and bartending and stuff when I was a kid, I just saying Jake to people was always like Jake, Jamie, Jake, you know. So I just got
confusing.
When I was a little kid, I got coined Teddy because I was just chunky, little teddy bear, and so.
Oh, okay. So
I
it's
always-
like Teddy Bear.
Oh,
Yeah,
teddy bear.
so I just people started calling me Teddy, and then it just stuck, and it's always just been easier,
It's
especially.
also cool.
Listen,
Yeah.
listen. He has to go pee.
I do.
For the sake of production, go pee, and then let's have our talk.
Yeah, bud.
How do you feel?
I feel great, bud.
Do you need anything else?
I'll have another sip. Yeah, sure.
I'm low on ice.
Oh, it's okay. You don't even need any ice, bud. It's fine.
You know, I want to tell you something. Like, so you're.
That'll do right there, bud.
So like
Yeah, thank
you
man.
don't know George, you don't know me, but like I know a lot of musicians of all the different calibers. I love it. I want to be able to sing. I love music so much. I don't know if I'm telling you or just like hyping him up. I think he's one of the most talented musicians I've ever met, and though he's gonna play and sing, I'm gonna ask him to play something too.
Okay.
He's and I'm now getting like hyped.
Yeah, fun
like
time.
I didn't forget, but like it was originally like come over do something and I want to hear you sing and I do, but now it's like I ask him to sing for me. I'm excited for you guys to meet.
Yeah,
and for
dude,
you
I'm
to,
grateful
like,
too.
see,
I mean,
like, who's this random guy
you clearly
that came
got
over?
some good taste. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. So I'm super excited, man, and thanks for making the connection. I'm always. This is the best thing in the world to just getting like-minded individuals together on a microphone. Come on, dude. Hell yeah, dude.
Well, I'm talking about gratitude. That's how I feel about this podcast. Like this opportunity to do this shit. By
so
the way,
sick, dude.
you're touring. You're blah blah blah. When you're back, be part of this universe. Come over again by
I
yourself
sure
with
will,
other people.
man.
I want
would
to at
be
some point get
honored. Yeah.
We're gonna get high at some point too.
I
do a
can't
silly
wait,
one.
buddy.
I don't remember. Have you met Alvin yet?
No, I have not.
He's a really sweet
Dude,
boy.
come on. Oh, let me frame you guys up.
Yeah,
Where's
he
your
loved
guitar?
that.
Did you leave it downstairs?
No, I brought it. Oh, did I leave it downstairs?
Yeah, you didn't come in with one.
Oh, I got it. Sorry.
Let me help to check you.
Getting real confident about your outdoor wires.
So sorry. No, they're. Oh my god. No, this one's indoor.
Indoor floor wire.
It's from the studio.
You are going to be number 4. We're set up.
I love you, Rick. It's a particular guy, ain't he?
That is an understatement.
Speaking of good indoor-outdoor wires, I've our headphone extension wire is what you let me borrow during the balcony series 4 years ago, and I don't keep it with my other wires because it's not mine. But
4, you said?
yeah, go ahead. Oh, this is fun. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right.
You got the headphones there, by the way. Sweet.
Don't make fun of my voice first thing.
I didn't know you could hear me without the headphones.
Yeah.
Let's do a level check.
Holy shimoly.
You don't like those headphones?
No, they're loud. No.
Just some beats by Dre, baby.
Oh, do you need me to lower them?
Yes, please.
Check. Check.
Sang.
Check 1. Hey. Hey, there we go.
There
check
he
1, 2.
is.
Check.
There's my dog.
Everyone else quiet.
Hey.
No guitar.
Check 1, 2. Check. Scooby dee 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 dee.
Okay.
Yeah, check 1, 2. Check. That's good with me. Hey.
Great.
Yeah.
Hello.
Sound good, dog. You better sing, man.
So I'm going to decide how to do this after the editing, but there's a good chance. When people sing covers, it doesn't necessarily get flagged, but when people sing their own stuff, it does.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll put this out there, but when that happens, it gets less views and blah, blah, blah. So I am going to have to figure out. I'm definitely going to post it all on social. I'll put uncut stuff on Patreon, but I'm going to have to figure out if some of the stuff gets flagged, we might have to you, the listener, you might have to know we clipped like a little section out here or there just so YouTube would let us post it. So
Yeah.
Well,
I'm the bad guy.
if there's anything that's if there is any moment there's like an original thing happen, I can always just
Well, try that for
call them and like be like, hey, make sure you whitelist this so it doesn't get
yes,
some comics
that's
do that
what
too.
we didn't. What I didn't know last time. That's what happened.
Right.
I could have given them a heads up. I didn't realize that we had like.
Yeah, whatever we play, I could reach out and be like, hey, could you make
Great.
sure this is cleared and this is cleared, so
Yeah.
we don't get fucking.
What song was it that you played?
Oh, Highway 9.
Highway
my,
9.
My band King Washington
Yeah,
song.
it was a
Which
King Wa-
it's so many people have messaged after I was on the show. They sent me messages. They love the song. They're like listening to it. Did well
you'll
for
leave-
the song.
I want you to play it again here at some point because
Can't
it's
wait.
great. So as I was saying before you got here, I was telling how I used to come to your place and just ask you to sing stuff, and I'm still probably going to do that. But at this point, I think I'm just going to chill for a second. And like, you guys are two musicians who have met musicians before. How do you guys kick it?
just see what's up. You know?
Yeah, say what's happening, man. Jamming, man. Just talking some
Where are you
shit.
from?
I'm from Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Yes, sir.
You could tell by how many times he calls us sir.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know who else does that? Is what's his name? Magic the Gathering, who's like the other version of you. What's his name? How am I not remembering his name?
Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, the Magic the Gathering. Magic the
Oh,
Gathering.
you
Him
talking
in the
about
jean
Posty?
shorts. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Oh, Post.
Yeah.
He's the sweetest dude ever, too, man.
Howard
The
Stern
nicest-
talks about how Post always calls him sir.
I'm sure he does, man. He's the nicest guy, man. We recently just got a chance to. We played. It wasn't Lollapalooza. It was one of these festivals. We just a few weeks ago played a festival together, and I played right after Chapel Rowan, which was an awful thing to try to do. Goodness gracious, what's going on around her? I was like,
Dude, yeah.
everybody's gonna leave when I play.
No.
And then played right into Post, and he's doing his country set, and then me and him watched Sturgill Simpson together, and I got to meet his daughter and his wife and stuff, and they were just, man, he was the sweetest human being. We just sat there and watched Sturgill Simpson together and like had a blast. And
I haven't heard anyone say anything
me
other than he's the
neither.
sweetest
I know,
guy in
me
the world.
neither. And
Yeah.
that's I've been looking forward to meeting him so much. And he was sitting aside stage, and I went up like first thing just before I even said anything, just kind of hugged him from the back and was like, kissed him on the cheek. And he's like, look back, Teddy, what's up, bro? We just hit it off. I was like, dude, everybody says we're gonna be best buds, man. He was like, we are, bud.
That's
I
awesome.
met him
He's
once
the
at a
nicest
magic
guy.
event thing, and
Oh, he's that into magic?
oh yeah, he bought a couple of things I was looking at that I don't have. I don't have as much money as him, but he spent some serious money on some of these things.
None
He got
of
an
us do,
alpha
baby.
an alpha starter deck that I've been wanting for the longest time, that I could have bought once when Dateable came out for $9,000, and I didn't, and now it's in six figures, and I'm like, I've been chasing it anyway. But he was so, and everyone is around like wanting to take pictures and do stuff, and he's so good at being like gracious to give them that, but also to be in it with them. Like there's like a yes sir energy that is like, oh, I don't know if this is racist, but he was raised right.
Yeah, he's right,
When
baby.
you say it like
Is
that,
that
it's
racist?
definitely
Like,
racist.
it's
No.
so white though.
That's
Yo,
true.
we're raised right.
Yeah,
Raised
white. Raised white. Raised white. Yeah, that's touchy for sure right there. When you say raised white, it's a little touchy, man. I think if you don't ask if it's racist, it's probably not. If you just cut that part and then we just say raised right, it's probably going to be fine.
We don't cut stuff unless it's gonna get flagged for other people's IP.
Yeah, exactly.
Can I say that flagged? Can I say that I don't want it to be a flag? I don't want them to flag it.
I'm having a blast.
Can you say flag it?
man.
Yeah, you could say that.
I could say flag it.
Flag it,
Is that racist? So
not flag it. That's crazy. I was got me crying actually.
so everybody, this is George. You've met him before. You've seen some episodes. If you're new, blah, blah, blah. George Krikes will put up his. What are we putting up?
Something, I hope. Instagram. Venmo. Put up the Venmo.
Yeah. So we did one where. Are we boring you?
No,
So,
oh Jesus.
you want some more tequila? I'm sorry, we're boring you. You can say yes, sir, all you want, but when you yawn when we're putting up his Venmo, it's real. It ain't raised.
I'll make I'll have to make a donation personally to
Thank you.
George,
Thank you.
go to sleep.
Yeah, this is great.
Frost yourself. So do you know how? I don't know how it could be on it. I'm really putting it on the spot with acoustic, but Lose Control. Do you know that song? Can I pull up chords? Is that a thing that we could do?
Sure.
With it?
What key is it in?
Shit. I know this.
If you play it for a second, because I think it's the progression just kind of repeats, right?
Bada 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 Boo.
I've heard it. That's definitely not it.
I bet you it is.
Bada, bada.
No, that's
Oh, that's a part in it?
that's it, dude. Bada, 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 bada. Yeah, trust me, dude. Watch. Trust me, dude.
I'm pretty sure it's like stabs. Like, boom, 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 boom.
Benefit. Trust me, dude.
Bada, bada.
Bada, bada. That's like exactly. Am I wrong? Bada, 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 bada. Anyway.
Come on, quick. That's a professional musician right there if I've ever heard one.
You need more? You good?
He's
No,
got
I
it.
think that's it.
That's hot. That's a hot take. Okay.
Do you know the words?
Yeah, I know the words. It's a big sing right now, though. We got it. Okay.
It's early.
Okay. Ha! Something's got a hold of me lately. No, I don't know myself anymore. Feels like the walls are all closing in, and the devil's knocking at my door. Whoa, out of my mind, how many times did I tell you I'm no good at being alone? It's taking a toll on me, trying my best to keep from tearing the skin off my bones. Don't you know I lose control when you're not next to me? I'm falling apart right in front of you. Can't you see? I lose control when you're not next to me. Yeah, you're breaking my heart, baby. You make a mess of me. Problematic. Problem is you want your body like a fiend, like a bad habit. Bad habits hard to break when I'm with you. Yeah, I know I can do it on my own, but I want that real full moon black magic, and it takes two. Problematic. Problem is when I'm with you, I'm an addict. And need some relief. My skin ain't out, teeth can't see the forest through the trees. Got me down on my knees, darling, please. Oh, I lose control when you're not next to me. I'm falling apart right in front of you. Can't you see? I lose control. Yeah, you're breaking my heart, baby. You make a mess of me.
Dude. This is awesome.
So big. That's a big fucking thing. Jesus Christ.
Hey, this is not the time to ask, but we could fix that peaking on this, I think, because it's the
Yeah,
right?
I mean, you should.
Yeah, I tried to get.
They should lower it first.
Yeah, I know. I
Fix
was
it
thinking.
first.
I didn't want to do it
I
during.
tried to get it back here too, just to
Yeah,
make
yeah,
it
you were doing
a little better.
Because this has a dual record low and high, and I think that's a thing. But I've never experienced that yet since I got this thing, so I'm excited to see. I'm hoping we could fix that.
Yeah, I'm a big yeller, so I just try to.
But yeah, I was thinking during it if I wanted to lower it or not, but I didn't want to.
Not in the middle of
Yeah.
the song. You should.
I almost went
think
like
it'll be
this right,
picking, though.
right
I don't-
before you did it. I was about to do this to you. Like I was gonna.
It sounded great.
It sounded amazing. It was just at that top.
Let's be real. That sounded.
It's
fucking
but
great.
I bring it up only like moving forward now. Like, what should I do?
I would say, JonMichael, we're gonna lower the gain. Make
well, this
make
is-
a note
this
and
is
then
probably
do it
for
right
Matt.
now.
JonMichael, we're gonna lower the gain. JonMichael.
I'm pretty sure. I'm curious. I want to look at this. I'm pretty sure that this is going to allow for that. But you are.
Such a jam, dude. Such a good song.
Man, that song has really been something. That song has changed my fucking life, dude. It's so crazy how much that song is. It's dude, we're still number 10. That thing is like been on the top 100. I think we're on week 58,
Really?
59. Yeah. And on the top 10.
Is that like a
for
record?
Week, yeah. We're
insane.
top 10 for now. I think this is the 34th or 5th week, which is insane. But we're about I think if we don't drop under the 25 in the next like 3 weeks or something, we'll go as like basically top 10 songs of like all fucking time that have been on the Billboard 100.
I saw on Spotify that it's over
what
a billion.
Yeah.
Streams.
It's like, dude, it's like a couple weeks away from being like on track to be one of the top 10 songs of all fucking time, which is insane. Can you believe that, dude?
Wow.
That's the
Fucking
craziest
insane.
thing.
Talk about peaking.
Yeah. Well, I just like I went home to my house and because like
Which one?
I only have the one, unfortunately.
Sucks.
But we went to so we went out to Australia, you know, and then like we did our tour in Australia, and our Warner team came and gave us like a little plaque of it, you know, and then like when we were in Dublin, and then when we were in UK too, they all gave us like different plaques of like, you know, it's like. And so I came home and I was telling my manager, I was like, please just keep them in your fucking office. I don't want to hang them because like, first off, like there's like, it's something I always wanted my whole life to have like a platinum record, of course. But like now when I'm looking at it, there's like 12, like from all the different territories, I have like a platinum record of Lose Control. And I'm like, I'm not hanging this in my studio. Like the one song platinum and everywhere. And then I'm just like, as I'm writing songs, just staring at like my best work and thinking it's like, well, if it's not that, I'm like,
Yeah.
So I went from always wanting one of those to having one and being like, I can't hang this. Cause if I'm like writing music and I'm looking at it, I'll be like, it's not that, you're a piece of shit, you know? And I don't want to tell myself that story, you know?
That's real. That's real.
Don't do that. No, but this is the one platform that continues to grow. You don't have to take it down. I wasn't trying to say that. That's not one song. That's a whole channel right there, my bro. That represents a career right there, not just one single song. You know.
Everything I've done in my career is represented by this 100,000 subscribers YouTube plaque.
It's awesome. It's fucking huge.
Wow.
It is incredible to think, you know.
5 years ago, we were in that place, and remember, I was like, George, I shouldn't do this. Everyone keeps calling me a faggot, or YouTube. Everyone keeps saying YouTube's going to flag it, and you're like, just keep at it, Rick. And one day, you're going to have a guy who doesn't know what name people should call him, that is going to have one really big song, but he doesn't want to be reminded about it because he wants to have more really big songs, and it might peak, but we'll figure it out. And I was like, you're right. I didn't know what he meant at the time.
That's what I meant.
You're an absolute asshole.
You know, you said while you guys were writing that song that you had a feeling, oh, this song is.
Yeah.
What was there a part of the song that like?
I don't know, because like there was already the beat. My buddy Amo had the beat kind of like going, and I remember walking into the room, and Julian Bunetti, he's like my boy, man, my executive producer too. He came in and he's like, dude, I have this idea, and he's like, I want it to be like I lose con and like a crazy little, you know, like a Teddy run, just run something crazy real quick. Like if we made something like, you know, like kind of similar to like that, like if it was like a chorus that everybody can sing and it's easy to sing, but it's something that not everybody can sing because the run is like crazy, but it's still catchy, but it's also like, what the fuck? Not everybody can sing it, but everybody can sing it. It's and I was like, wow, what an idea. And then we just kind of like laid that in there, and then, you know, the verses just kind of fucking came to Mickey Echo wrote the second verse, and I remember the first verse, like Julian is such a genius, man. He had like split us up. He was like, because Mickey was cooking on the second verse and had this kind of idea for this rappy kind of second verse. And so one point we were just getting stuck, and Julian was like, Mickey, you go outside by the pool, you just write that second verse, and you come back in when you have it finished. And then,
this was done in a day?
Yeah, and then Julian was like, yo, I'm gonna go out here, and I think I'm just gonna write some words for the first verse. And then I'm gonna write the words. And then I think what we should do, Jayden, is that we should go in, and I'll bring you some words for the first verse, and you just kind of read the words into whatever melody that falls out of your mouth. And that was kind of the idea too. So it was almost like he just wrote a poem, and then like we judged like some words, and I just kind of, I guess like it almost had some iambic pentameter type thing to it, how he wrote it. So it was like, I just kind of made the melody off of reading it, you know, and we did a few passes like that, and he just kind of judged it together. And it was like, so we wrote like melodies to words, and then words to melodies, and then also like just kind of
that's a great way to do
every type of songwriting that we could think of all into one, and it kind of just really fell into place in such a beautiful way. It was such a strange. That guy is Julian Bunetta, dude. Such a fucking genius, man. He's so.
Why is that the right way to do it?
No, it's a great way to do it, to like let it flow out. Like the other guy wrote the words, and then you like just like made it feel right.
Yeah, it's
for your voice, and that's where the magic comes. It wasn't like composed and written out, and you're like learning how to do it. You got to flow.
Yeah, and I think that's what's so beautiful. I think it reminded me too again of like how poetry it really is that when there's like poetry in a setting that the way people read it could be so differently depending on, like if we were just doing spoken word, the way that you might read it in a spoken word versus the way I might read it in a spoken word, it could have a whole different emotion or a whole different thing or a whole different cadence and rhythm was quite insane.
I think people oftentimes will when, especially the first time they hear a song, but they'll have an idea of what the song is about more by what the melody makes them feel as opposed to the lyric itself.
Yeah,
and then until you actually like listen, like that's what this is about. So like it's like good looks versus a personality. Like you could like trick people
Absolutely.
or control or manipulate or.
Another great analogy, Rick. Yeah, dude, you're the best.
I've been telling I'm like the Michael Jordan of basketball.
You really are. You're the Michael Jordan of basketball.
Analogies.
He really is. He's great at analogy.
He's really great.
It's a weird skill.
Perspective is incredible.
So while we're talking about poetry, I know I'm late to the game. I've always known him, but I got into Bob Dylan earlier this year, and I'm like a really big Dylan.
Yeah.
Or I think like Gen Z calls them Dylan heads. Or maybe they will now. That what's his name?
I haven't gotten enough into that. I haven't really studied. Like, I need to do a deep dive because I kind of just missed that when I was coming up. If it wasn't, I was such a.
You weren't a Dylan head.
Yeah, my parents never was like Bob Dylan is the one. Like I think my older brother like had a poster in his room, would try to get me into it, but it was like also like I was in like 6th grade, and so at the time like I was like he was trying to show me Bob Dylan, and I was like, yeah, but. Fucking Green Day though, dude. Like American Idiot is the fucking thing right now, dude. You're so old.
And now he likes what's your buddy's name? Lance? Is that who went on tour with you? I'm sorry, I'm horrible.
Oh, Victor
names.
Ray.
Victor, yeah, but now he likes Victor, and you're like, fuck that dude.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I love Victor too, man. So it's so funny that you get in this like kind of those like I think with poetry, just in general, it's. Where was I going with this?
I was just talking about Bob Dylan. You're like you weren't into it too much.
Oh yeah, I didn't grow up too much on that, and I think Bob Dylan is a perfect example of having intention when writing something. I feel like the guy knew exactly what he wanted to write about, what he wanted to say, and knew how to put it into words. And I feel like the melody and the singing and I guess the playership in general came second to the intention.
Yeah.
And the intention was always so well thought out. The intention was so there, and what he needed to say was so there that the other stuff was just was to add to the intention and the emotion rather than it being the other way around. And I think there's so much today that happens with music, which is like so like you said, just so melody driven. And I do this a lot too, and it's a great way to do it when you kind of make a beat and then you go mumble a bunch of melodies behind a microphone, and then you kind of find out what you're saying in those melodies. Because sometimes there's a magic space that like you might have accidentally said this or might have said this, and you find what you're talking about in the song. But I think there is a power to setting an intention to writing about this particular thing that is such a beautiful thing. I think I always think of it like intention can create emotion in such a way that I think emotion always creates emotion, but I don't think intention always creates emotion. But when intention does create emotion, it's like the strongest emotion there is, And I think when you do have like an intention to say like I want to write a song about this, it's like there's times that I'll be sitting watching a TV show, or maybe you say something profound in a song or make a perfect analogy while we're talking, and I'll be like, oh shit, let me write that down. I want to write about that this evening, and oh man, Rick said this. And so I'm like starting to think about all these different ways and how do I make this into a beautiful way of saying this and relate it to not just this conversation, but me and my love life.
Minority Report animation during all that.
Yeah, fucking right. And I think there's intention is like can create the most beautiful emotion if it's done the right way. And I think Bob Dylan is the perfect example of
Another one who you turned me on to, who I don't know as well. I mean, I've heard a lot of his songs because of you, but it's Tom Waits.
Oh yeah,
I feel that way too. Are you hip to Tom Waits at all?
I'm not. No.
He made will you play something? He did a whole Tom Waits cover album. That's
Oh no shit.
There's one song that I
Well, you better
love.
sing down.
I don't remember which one it is.
I mean, my favorite song
Yeah, I guess
of
play
all
your
time.
favorite.
Let me tune my guitar.
Come on, dog.
Does it involve the slider? This one? At some point before we forget, remind me. I want you to
where
do
does
something
it-
with this.
Where did do I go? Dad Gad?
Open D.
God.
I love musicians.
My
love
favorite
that you guys are here.
song of all time is this song. It's
I can't wait to hear it, buddy.
it's I Don't Want to Grow Up.
I'll try not to look at you too hard.
Such a good boy.
You're such a good boy, dude. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Delicate George.
I do wonder. Well, I was gonna say
ahead,
if you played it in a different key, would that help? The YouTube algorithm. I know that's an obnoxious thought.
This
I don't think it
is so
will.
wildly different from
Great.
any
I
recorded
forget how
version.
original you are. You'll never get flagged for somebody else's art. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, this is like his version is like
Flagged.
that would get flagged. Bleep that whole thing.
No, yeah.
This is my version.
It's a good impression of him.
That
Is that how he said?
yes, it's
But
literally.
good. It's like that's a sillier version, but kind of yeah.
Yeah.
When I'm lying in my bed at night, I don't wanna grow up. No, nothing ever seemed to turn out right. I don't wanna grow up. Tell me, how do you move in a world of fall? It's always changing things. It makes me wish that I could be a dog. Yeah, when I see the prices you pay, I don't wanna grow up. No, I don't ever wanna be away. I don't wanna grow up. Just seems like folks turn into things that they never want. The only thing to live for is today. So I'm gonna burn a hole in my TV set, 'cause I don't wanna grow up. Come on, open up your medicine chest, 'cause I don't wanna grow up. No, I don't wanna have to shout it out. I don't want my hair to fall out. I don't wanna be filled with doubt. I don't wanna be a good Boy Scout. I don't wanna have to learn to count. I don't wanna have the biggest amount. No, I don't wanna grow up. No, no, no. No, 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 no.
Some kind of solo here of some kind of violin.
Oh, yeah, when I hear my parents fight, I don't wanna grow up. They all go out drinking all night. I don't wanna grow up. I stay around in my old hometown. I don't wanna put no money down. I don't wanna get me a big old loan. Work my fingers to the bone. I don't wanna have to float a broom. Fall in love, get married and boom. How the hell did it get it so soon? I don't wanna grow up.
Yes, sir, bro.
He makes me cry all the time, man.
Jeez.
Dude, that's a beautiful. I've heard you sing that before. I don't know if I've listened to the words.
It's my favorite song of
Yeah.
all time for sure.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Clip it. Wow, man.
Clip it, flag
Beautiful.
it. Let's go.
You play so. You play the guitar so beautiful. I mean, your voice is incredible. You play so good, dude.
That's that was
Just that boom at the end. That got me. Like my eyes were watering a little, but I was fine. But then that last boom, I'm like,
Yeah.
so I blinked or something.
We looked at each other and I was crying too. I was like, don't worry, let it out, bro. I'm here. I'm already here, bro.
It's powerful, you know.
It's a great song.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's like when you finally listen to lyrics, and I listen to lyrics now. It wasn't until my 30s. Like I listened to lyrics of songs when I loved a song, but I didn't realize how many times I didn't really. I had songs memorized. I didn't know what I was singing,
dude.
And I listen to lyrics now, and I'm falling in love with different kinds of artists because of it.
Or I think once you do kind of experience, I think just more things in life, and you start realizing what they're kind of talking about to you. I remember the first time that I ever had that feeling. There was an old song by Seosin, and I was a huge Anthony Green fan, Circus of Five fan, Seosin fan. And
do you know these people?
I don't know any of them.
Oh,
I don't know
there's
who that
this-
is either.
Well, I used to. I was. It's old, like they're super heavier rock,
Oh,
like
cool.
kind of alternative, and I was super into that. And there was this old song called 7 Years by him, and I used to sing this song, and me and my friends were like first jamming for the first time, and like,
Wait, is that 7? I'm so sorry. I think I know that song.
taking on 7 years that Holy Ghost had
Nope.
left alone. But I didn't realize like.
I thought you were gonna say a slave at some point.
No,
Okay,
no. There's
alright.
another
I
song
thought you were gonna
that's
make a joke
about
about
growing
that.
up, and he like talks about every 7 or 10 years or something. I forgot what that song was.
16 is still time for you.
Ooh, that was a fucking hot ass song. Though.
Yeah,
that
That was a good song, but that's not what I was
But
thinking.
Peter,
back to
though.
7 years.
Yeah,
Well,
sorry.
I think that one. I remember the exact moment that I was like laying there, and that song got kind of like just hit my head. You know how the song just kind of pops into your brain, and you just can't get out of your head one day, and you haven't heard it forever. And I like turned it on in my car, and I was driving, listening to it, and me and my buddies would always like when we were first learning and playing together, we would play that song all the time, and I'd sing every word of that song. And then it wasn't until like I was a little bit older, I might have been around 22, and I was having my first, as like a kid with Pentecostal pastor as a granddad, I had started having my own, ideals and my own thoughts, and kind of falling out of the church, and having my own relationship, and trying to figure out if I still believed in that and this and that. And I'd heard that song again for the next time as I've been going through that similar thing, and I realized like what I've been singing my whole life, the first words of the song were taking on 7 years that Holy Ghost had left alone. And I was like, holy shit, this guy's talking about that he's like been reaching out to God for years, and he hasn't heard a word back from God for 7 years. He hasn't heard a word from God for 7 years. And I've been singing this song since I was a little kid, like, this song's a fucking jam. And we were like having our first drinks and first playing together in a band to it, and like having a blast and thinking Samson's a fucking next level thing. And this is a grown ass man talking about like he can't get in touch with God.
Did that make you feel like you don't either?
Well, it wasn't until I was old enough that I was also kind of going through that same thing, and that song hit me in the right time, and I listened to it again, and I was like, now these lyrics are so different to me than I was just literally singing these words and not even thinking about what they meant. And it just shows you what you kind of like, even as kids, like what we feed our souls, and what like kind of can come get into our brain, and we can know all these words of something without, and we can be speaking things into our lives and our situations, and we can be speaking things and not even quite know the real gravity of what we're saying until we go through it ourselves, and then go back and listen to something that you grew up listening to and being like, holy shit, this is like advice I needed, that I was yelling when I was 13, that I had no idea what the fuck I was talking about.
And it was in your brain the whole time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and,
you're
and
ready to receive
all I
it.
needed was all I needed was to go back and look at that blessing and be like, damn, that was already inside of me, that I needed to hear that. But I've been yelling it for 12 years ago. I yelled it, and then now I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't even understand the gravity of that then. I was just hearing the words and yelling the words, and not even having any emotion behind what I was yelling when that time. I had no idea. I didn't even think about what that song was about. I didn't my brain wasn't even thinking like, what did he mean when he said that? Like, I just was just saying the words and not even thought once what the words were.
So you said something that in White Man Can't Jump, there's a scene, and Wesley Snipes says something, and it bothered me when I was younger, and I remember, like, I feel like he's saying it wrong, because Woody Harrelson's character likes Jimi Hendrix, and Wesley Snipes' character is like, you can't hear him, you listen in, but you can't hear it. And I remember even then thinking, No. He could hear it. What you're trying to say is he could hear it, but he's not listening because hearing it is easier. Like I could hear what's happening, but I'm not really listening to it. And he said it backwards. And I remember even then being like, you have to listen to things. You can't just hear it. So that White Man Can't Jump had the right idea, but they messed that up.
Hopefully they corrected it on the Jack Harlow movie.
I don't know if they had that same scene.
But there's a new White Man Can't Jump?
Yeah, with Jack Harlow.
I auditioned for it and they gave it to Jack Harlow and no shade, but like you say whatever you want about Jack Harlow, he's not a better basketball player than me. I don't even know if he's a phenomenal basketball player. And he's not funnier than me. Did you see what I did earlier about the Michael Jordan of analogies? Come on. Anyway, funny movie. But yeah, you got to listen to lyrics. Before I forget, and don't do it now, but I want you to play one of which was something that you introduced me to. American Tune. I want you to play at some point.
Okay. Another great lyricist, Paul Simon.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm getting look at me. I'm getting into good lyricists now.
Yeah.
But is there a crossover with you guys in the Green Day world or in like the Metallica world? I don't know what the hell you guys are, but like where you like something that and you like something or know something, could you guys
we can find
go on a first
something.
date for 30 seconds?
Oh, we can certainly do that. A little speed date.
Yeah, what would that be?
It'll be me tuning up first again.
Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road.
That's easy.
We could do that.
Definitely
it was,
not.
And the Seinfeld.
I still love. I mean,
Unforgiven?
I still love me some Green Day, but I don't know if that's a big Green Day. That's probably not the best. What about that old Radiohead, John?
Creep?
You were here home.
Creep.
Can't look me in the eyes. You're just like an angel. Your skin makes me cry. Fall like a man in a beautiful world. You're so fucking special. I wish I was special, but I'm hungry. Oh, I'm a widow. What the hell am I doing here? And I don't belong.
I don't know the words.
Make them up. Do something.
Still sounds so good now.
But I'm hungry. Oh, I'm hungry. What the hell am I doing here? Oh, I don't belong in the
Good run.
something like that.
Is there a world where you could do Circle of Life? Because I was.
Yeah,
that's why I was.
Certainly, we
so-
can do the
Hell
circle
yeah.
of life. Yeah.
I'm mad I didn't set my piano up. Will you come?
yeah.
Listen, you'll come back again. You'll come back again, and I want to have my piano too. I want to like do this
And
with you guys.
we'll just do an open podcast jam.
Yeah,
We'll just all
yeah.
sit here and
We'll
just fucking-
call the episode demonetized. We're not gonna, just let that one go.
D-minortized.
Ooh,
And we play everything in the key of D minor.
yeah, and everybody's under 18.
Oh Oh, hey.
Oh, you smell so good.
Flag it.
You can't say that.
What key is Circle of Life in, you know?
C. Circle of Life.
You can't say.
How does it start?
Love you, Rick. I'm having a blast.
Oh, that is how it starts.
Let's play a little.
In the day we arrive on this planet.
It's too high, but I'm okay with it.
Let me see it. We'll get the right key.
Stepped into. It starts here. It goes from the day
we arrived on the planet.
Yep.
And stepped into sun. There was more to be seen than could ever be seen. More to do than could ever be done. It's the
No.
There's far too much
Take
to
turns.
take in here, or to find, then can never be found.
Sing, bro.
But the sun rolling high on the savannah sky.
This is where you have to take over because
Okay. It's the circle of life as it moves us soul through this bad running home till we find our place.
Oh, you were That's right.
Oh, am I fucking that up?
It's like it does a little kid.
It goes like seventh, right?
Oh.
Oh, right.
Oh fuck though. That's not, oh, it's so hard. That's
That was.
All of Helen
Oh my god.
Is it key
dude.
change?
Yeah, but I think before there's like a.
Yeah, come on,
Oh,
dog.
it's just too good, dude.
More,
I
do it
can't just,
again.
like, do it.
Do it again.
without any planning.
On the day.
Can you feel the love tonight?
Yeah.
Could you feel what's happening?
Yeah, just the Lion King soundtrack. The best fucking movie of all time,
It's so
frankly.
good.
I can see what's happening is what I was asking.
Look, dude,
But what?
We don't have a clue.
I got him, bro.
What? I can't decide. Why won't
I
he
got
be
him,
the
bro.
king?
It's my dog.
Oh, no,
That's
that's
the best
lyric.
fucking
Wait,
movie
who is
ever.
that?
You have a Lion King tattoo?
That's the Simba.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
That's great.
That's the one Rafiki draws.
Yeah. That's the best movie fucking ever.
That is
man.
so dope.
I think the only thing they fucked up on, like, I loved the newest one with this like live action, I guess, but not really quite because it's CG. But whatever. I think that there's just a lack of expression on animals' faces when you make them real animals. And it's not really working.
Have you seen the Planet of the Apes series?
Well, see, they got that right. But when fucking Simba's crying and he just lost his dad, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, he's like crying, but he's like not sad enough. It's like it's a lion. He doesn't have much facial expression.
I don't. I only saw it once. The live action. I don't remember. I don't. I don't Making
wanna
stuff
watch
is
it.
hard to do. I don't want to speak on it, but I will say this. I saw the trailer for the new Mufasa movie
It looks
with
great.
the origins of Scar and such.
Ooh.
I am into it. Very excited.
I'm pumped. I'm pumped that they added a new addition to like Mufasa's like early ages and stuff.
Yeah.
But I hope that they just kind of get the facial expressions like to be a little more. I just want their emotions to be more expressive than just like them looking like too like animals.
Yeah,
You know.
we need the actors, the voice actors, not just to hear the words, but to be listening, so they can really tap in. You know,
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's a calm
Shout out to Jack
surrender. Do you know the words to Circle of Life?
I can look them up.
Do you know 'em?
Circle of Life?
One of you
Oh,
take
that one.
One of you guys be Simba. One of you be Nala.
What is this one? Can You Feel the Love Night? Damn, I haven't heard that in so long.
To the rush of day. In the heat.
Oh, no.
In the heat of a moment where can't be turned away. Then again. Ooh, nice. We call that a resolve.
You do?
I do. All right, so you start. Simba starts.
Okay.
I'm trying to find. I can't decide. Why won't he be the king? I know he's the king.
Are we gonna put out a fucking whole Lion King album together, boys? Did we just start a band, boys?
The Lion Kings of Washington.
There's a calm surrender to the rush of day. When the heat of morning can be turned away.
He's holding back, he's hiding from what I can't decide. Why can't he be the king I know he is, the king I see inside?
Resolve.
So can you feel the love tonight? Tonight, it is where we are.
It's enough for this wide-eyed wanderer that we got this far.
We'll skip ahead to the key change. Do it again. Yeah.
They love fucking Elton John. What a dick. You know what I mean? With every song, he was like, well, how about halfway through the chorus we do another key
Michael
change?
Jackson does it.
It worked great on the Circle of Life. Let's just do it again.
It really is great.
It's
It really
incredible.
lifts it up,
Yeah, it's like we get to hear a new song, but it's the same song.
It's
Whitney
truly-
Houston,
it's-
Elton John, Michael Jackson. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Can you still get away with that these days? You know what I mean?
No one does it.
No.
Why can't
I
you
mean-
get away with a key change?
You could because you have real songs. A lot of music now, it's not quite real songs. They're like,
But also, like,
I don't know.
it could be a shot in the foot to try to do something, and just like if you're watching a scene of two lions making love, probably maybe if I just make
First of all, I don't know when the last time you watched The Lion King. They don't show that. Okay, they're in a waterfall and they're kind of like wrestling, and there's a pig and a warthog just over there jerking off watching.
But I remember I was about like fucking 6, 7 years old, and I think my fucking little pee-pee got boned up when she gave that look. And I was
Meerkat.
like, Nolly gave that little fucking.
Oh yeah, those eyes,
She
those
gave
almond eyes.
that kind of like, yeah, come on,
Put up
go,
the
put it
picture.
in me, big boy. Look, and I'd never felt that in my life then, and I was like, oh, whoa, I've never been so turned on by a lion in my life, dude.
Is that why you got it inked on you?
He probably started me down the path of fucking Lola Bunny too. She had no business being
bro.
that fine.
The Lola Bunny and Jessica Rabbit. I mean, I'll tell you something. For a little bit, I thought I wanted to fuck rabbits, and I don't mean that. Like bleep that. But like a key change, something about a key change is the song singer and or writer saying, key change subject, is a song singer or writer being like, this is epic. We did it. Now encore. Like Celine, like ballads do it. I feel like like we did the big thing and it's impressive. You think that's impressive? I bet I could do it a little higher. I feel like that's the cocky
it's an energy. It's a beautiful energy.
You think that's impressive? We'll fix it. I want you to hear. So I don't know how into Paul Simon you are, and if you know the song "American Tune," but he turned me on to this song.
Yeah,
I'm late
please.
to music, and you find it whenever you find it.
Yeah.
But the lyrics of this too are just like.
Dude, I love your just willingness to just come and just rock our world. Like, thank you so much. This has been such a blessing that you're
And
here.
thank you for doing it
Oh,
too, man.
Fucking having a blast, man.
I mean, he's my
I'm
buddy.
having a blast, dude. I'm having so much fun. This is like,
sure thing, Teddy Swims, international superstar.
Yeah,
Happy
we
to
sit
be
on the
here.
couch and watch my buddy sing a Paul Simon song.
I'm having, dude, this is such a blessing, man.
That's why I want to make
I
sure you had
love
time.
you to
Good.
death. You were incredible. man.
Likewise.
And this guy knows, this guy's got the taste, baby. Don't he know how to pick them, man?
Yeah.
Come on.
He knows how to pick his neighbors guitars randomly.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't have to go to your house once a week and while we were stoned and just ask you to play for me from 2 to 5 in the morning.
Yes.
And he has, and I don't know how it is now because he has a studio in his garage space, but like at the time it was a smaller apartment and there was just a whole wall with all these different guitars. And I'm like, why? And I would name a song and he'd be like, in this guitar. And it was just like, all right, but it's it's fun. He'll just do it.
Well, we'll have to get together too after this and just,
Yeah,
make
for
we
sure.
sing some more.
I want to
write
do an
some
episode
songs.
where I get some of the people who have been part of like the Take Your Shoes Off universe, like the musicians that have been on, like maybe this sounds superficial, but like the famous musicians, and like have them come over and then and sing to me.
I love that. That's a great idea.
We got to get Josh Groban back.
Every night in my dreams, I see you, I feel you. That is how I know you. Go on. Oh, wow, Rick. Far across the distance and spaces between us, you have come to show you. Go on.
And me, you, and him line up the three of us because we look like we could be like
Funny,
triplets
sure.
and do
Yeah.
like a
But
three-part
honestly,
harmony, like a
honestly-
barbershop quartet.
I met him through Meghan Trainor too, so I don't know what everyone's pop star schedule is to just meet some random townhouse. But like, I want to have what's that doc I just watched about that Michael Jackson did with Quincy. We Are the World.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I've been.
I want to do that, but for the theme song of this podcast. Just kind of you know what I mean?
Just get all of us together to sing it together.
Yeah. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, American Tune.
Okay, here we go. What are the words? Let's see.
Many's a time I've been mistaken, and many times confused. Yes, and I've often felt forsaken and certainly misused. Oh, but it's alright. Yeah, it's alright. For we've lived so well, so long. Still, you can expect to be bright and bon vivant, so far away from home, so far away from home. And I dreamed I was dying. I dreamed that my soul rose unexpectedly, and looking back down at me, it smiled reassuringly. And I dreamed I was flying, and high up above, my eyes could clearly see the Statue of Liberty sailing away to sea. And I dreamed I was flying.
Wow, what
That
a
it keeps
beautiful
going.
song.
Yeah, so good.
I've never heard that.
Yeah, I only knew of like
saving that
some
in
Paul
mind.
Simon songs, and then after you played that for me, then Tal Welkenfield put up all the stuff. She took me to his concert.
Oh,
and I was
here.
Yeah,
Awesome.
a couple years ago at the Bowl, and it was just I get it.
So good. He's so good.
I remember growing up, I loved Chrome. That was like one of my favorite
Yeah.
songs, but that
Yeah.
was my introduction to him.
Yeah.
Could we hang out and sing a little bit more? Are you guys
dude.
okay?
That song, I know it's expensive quarterly.
Yeah,
Quarterly? Is that a word?
What do you mean? Like the amount of chords?
Yeah, it's expensive quarterly. I guess is what I'm trying to say. It makes sense.
It's got a lot of calories.
It's got a lot of fucking calories in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make it fatty on the cord. But it reminds me of that old, you remember that old Beatles song, Till There Was You? It's got that same kind of movement.
Do you know it? Can we hear it?
Yeah.
Where do you want to sing it?
Do you know it?
I can play it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Till there was
He's
you.
a jukebox dude.
Fucking yeah, let's go.
You give me the key. Just start singing where you want it.
Fuck, you're a monster. Well, let's get it. Let's get the right key.
Cool.
So that way, because it's goddamn.
There were bells on the hill, but I never heard them ring.
It's one of the best songs ever, though, bro. It's one of the best songs ever.
Put up his Venmo now.
There were bells on a hill, but I never heard them ringing. No, I never heard them at all till there was you. There were birds in the sky, but I never saw them ringing.
Sorry.
No, I never saw them at all till there was you. And now this music and wonderful others, they tell me sweet, fragrant meadows of dawn and dew. There was love all around, but I never saw it in. No, I never heard it at all till there was you. That's such a good fucking song, dude. That's one of the best songs of all time, man. It's so good. That's got to be top 5, I think. In
You
my
nailed the SAR.
Yeah, never saw them winging. Like what a bad. It's such a bad line too. It's like not even clever. It was just like
Classic.
I never saw them winging, and they just had to. They had to make that rhyme.
It's
They're
winging.
Like,
It's not birds singing.
no, it's a bird winging.
Yeah.
I guess you can't see them sing, but you could see them wing.
Yeah, it's such a goofy line because it's like they still wanted to get that rhyme in there so bad they just said saw them winging. It's like, I can imagine them like in the studio like having a fight about that. Well, let's make the birds singing. It's like, well, I want to saw them. You can't saw them singing. You got to saw them winging.
I think that I'm not sure, but I think that was a cover. That they I don't think they wrote that.
Oh, really?
I think it's like from a musical, if I'm not mistaken. I may be wrong though.
Let's give that a look, shall we? Come on.
We could do it in post and save some time, and just give both reactions. No. Oh yeah. Use one.
They didn't do many covers. But I don't know why. I think
At the beginning of their career, they were huge on the. Yeah. Okay. You're absolutely right. Till There Was You is a show tune written by Meredith Willson, popularized by his 1957 stage production, The Music Man, and its 1962 movie. Yeah, it's a Music Man song.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I've never seen the
Wait,
Music
did you
Man,
say
though.
Meredith Wilson was a man?
That's what I just read. It doesn't seem like that. Yeah.
Women could write for men. Believe me.
Written by Meredith Wilson, popularized by his 1950s.
Meredith.
Yeah, Meredith was a man.
Yeah.
I guess.
And I think that's awesome. I think that's cool.
It's a great name for a man.
Yep.
Do you guys know any Billy Joel? I can make some
I
suggestions.
don't know any Billy Joel. I missed that.
I know some Billy Joel.
I missed the boat on that. Please.
You know what?
Please give me some.
You want to?
There's some stuff we gotta send you.
Please.
This is another one of my favorite songs, musically and lyrically. It's pretty masterful. I guess I'm just gonna sing another song.
Okay.
I can't wait, bro. I can't
It's
wait.
so good.
Turn
You
me
said
on,
Billy
bro. To the song. I mean, obviously.
She can kill with a smile.
Oh.
She can wound with her eyes. She can ruin your faith with her casual lies. And she only reveals what she wants you to see. Yeah, she hides like a child, but she's always a woman to me.
Wow.
She can lead you to love. She can take you or leave you. She can ask for the truth, but she'll never believe you. And she'll take what you give her as long as it's free. Yeah, she steals like a thief, but she's always a woman to me. Whoa, she takes care of herself. She can wait if she wants. she's ahead of her time. Oh, and she never gives out.
Wow.
No, she never gives in. She just changes her mind. And she'll promise you more than the Garden of Eden. She'll carelessly cut you and laugh while you're bleeding. And she brings out the best and the worst you can be. Blame it all on yourself, 'cause she's always a woman to me.
Hell yeah, he did. Yes, he did, of course.
Keep going.
Oh, she takes care of herself.
Sang, Rick.
She can wait if she wants. She's ahead of her time. Whoa, and she never gives out. Yeah.
Stay with it. You hitting the hell out of them notes, bro. Go for it.
Just changes her mind. She's frequently kind and then suddenly cruel. She can do as she pleases, she's nobody's fool. And she can't be convicted, she's earned her degree. Yeah, the most she will do is throw shadows at you, but she's always a woman to me.
Scared my dog away.
I'm adding that to my playlist too, man.
Just go ahead and add every Billy Joel song to your playlist.
Yeah.
Do you know what that song's about? I heard him say what it was about, and I never understood what it meant. And I may have dreamed this or remembering it wrong, but it makes sense to me now. The woman is New York, and that makes more sense to me than an actual woman.
Is that right?
Yeah, because like, why are you loving this woman so much that doesn't love you or treat you well or that is just bad to you? But it's like, no, it's not about me. They're not in a relationship. He's living. At least it makes sense to me then.
I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do like turn that into. And see, that's another thing about intentional songwriting, to take something so beautiful and like maybe he's having a discussion with somebody about New York and how New York's never going to give him what that, and then like somebody's like, what if we do that, but we make New York a woman?
Well, yeah, because he probably goes, I love New York.
You know, like,
Yeah. I saw a clip of him explaining that song a little bit, but it didn't go on into the meaning of the lyrics.
Yeah, I don't know why I feel like I heard him say that or I made that up.
Maybe it went into that, but he was talking about he had this musical thing and he played like the piano part, which is really, really cool.
Really cool.
And then he's like, I came up, he started with the first verse of the lyrics and how it's like she could kill, because it sounds very like beautiful and regal. The way he plays the piano, it's very like royal sounding. That's this beautiful pattern. And he was like, but she could kill with a smile. She could woo. It's like all these dark images over this beautiful thing. And then maybe he like came up with that meaning after he had these few lines or something. Because that often happens where it's like you come up with something and you're like, ooh, what if it's not about a woman, but it's about New York? And so he just kept writing about, I don't know, that's really cool.
Yeah, Billy Joel is
that's a masterful fucking
is amazing.
song.
That bridge is the,
take care of herself. She can wait if she wants. She's ahead of her time. And then,
just out of nowhere, you're in a brand new key out of
and she never gives. And then to get back, she just changes.
It's so freaking
Dude,
brilliant.
my goal now is to have I have to have something with the fucking chord, like in the middle of the chord, just
do what?
Change your fucking key like that. It's so powerful.
I saw a clip, and maybe if I can find it, I'll put it up. John Mayer was playing something and he played a wrong chord. At least it seemed like he did because it didn't sound right and he made a face. But he then walked it back to the thing and it sounded so good. and just that is like an intentional version. It seems like because it does do a key change and then comes right back down, and you don't even notice it.
Yeah.
And when you and him on the it's. I mean, the piano he plays. He's a piano man. I mean, he's
there's such a thing like when you're like good enough or you know your shit well enough. It seems like there's never a bad note in anything if you know how to follow your way back home. Like if you get your way back home, then fucking there's no note that's wrong. You know. Do
me a favor. If you're in the studio and you're doing something and you consciously do a key change moment because of this, afterwards text me.
I sure will.
Or
buddy.
like I won't post
sure will, buddy.
record what it is. I want to send it so we can listen. Like. You know, Elton. I mean, this is more because of maybe Billy Joel or whoever else.
And Elton John as well. Fucking.
Oh yeah.
Absolute freak over
He's
here.
a great key
circle
key
of life
change.
and fucking. Can you feel the love tonight?
For sure.
So you're a power ballad boy. That's where I found you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
bro.
what could we? Hello, not hello.
Sure.
Not. I mean, Lionel Richie's hello. I'm thinking
Adele.
The Celine. Maybe it's not hello. What's this heart song?
Oh yeah,
Alone, not hello.
Oh,
I mean, also hello. Do you know Alone?
I don't think so. I don't know Alone.
That's it's like
you would know it. I think.
Always got by on my own.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the song, but I don't know. I wouldn't know.
Let me tell you something. I don't know if you're still doing cover stuff. I mean, I guess we could do. Who knows? I'm getting excited. At a certain point, I'm gonna send a couple of songs that I want you to come back on and do covers of.
I would love to, bro.
And that's gonna be one of them.
Okay, great.
You have met him before, right?
Yeah, we have. We
Briefly,
a couple
of times.
Yeah, and then he works at the same gym I do, and so we saw each other before I went on my last run and was like, "But we gotta fucking make sure we get in and hang out." Eventually, man, we've been talking about it for 2 years, and we. Every once in a while, we'll like have a text, or I'll see him on Instagram, like, "Man, great, man, you're fucking crushing it."
Yeah,
like, but we haven't.
I said it already in the pod, but so you know, I found him doing covers years ago, and he was doing these power ballads on Instagram.
Oh yeah, no, I remember you would send them to me,
and they were just like, you know, and now it's his own shit, and it's fucking awesome. But I still love hearing the songs that I love in new arrangements and new voices.
It's the best, man.
It's so much. But you said, you know, Lionel Richie's "Hello." Then you know that?
No, I thought you were talking about Adele's. I don't know.
It's the same song.
Richie's. Oh, is it?
No, it's not the same song. It's not the same song at all. What am I talking about?
I don't know Adele's "Hello."
Yeah. Oh, Lionel Richie. Man.
Oh, what about?
I know so many good covers for you, dude.
What about that old Adele Bob Dylan John?
Oh yeah. Yeah. What key is that? A good key?
I don't know.
Make You Feel My Love. That's a Bob Dylan song. Isn't it?
Yeah, Bob Dylan song originally.
I mean, so many people sing it, but I love this song.
And the whole world is on your case. I could offer you an embrace to make you feel my love. When the evening shadows and the stars appear, and there's no one there to dry your tears, I could hold you for a million years to make you feel mine. I know you haven't made your mind up yet, but I would never do you. I've known it from the moment that we
See, I don't know what that was.
Back to the beginning.
Back to the verse. I go hungry, I go black and blue. I go crawling down the avenue. No, there's nothing that I wouldn't do to make you feel my love. This song is so powerful, bro. Wow. You're a freak, bro.
Expensive chords.
Absolute freak. Go, dog. Or the last verse right here. I could make it your dreams come true. Nothing that I wouldn't do. Go to the ends of the earth for you to make you feel my love. To make you feel my love.
Everyone.
To make you feel my love.
Okay.
Hollywood, baby.
So I'm feeling myself wanting to ask for so much more of stuff. So I'm gonna ask at least one more.
Okay.
And then you're gonna have to say, Rick, I have to go because I'm not gonna.
Okay, sounds
or you
great,
too.
buddy.
You too.
I'm good. I have another half hour.
Okay.
I can. Yeah, I can.
We
do
don't
that.
even have to do that. This is just like this is what the
This is
This is
great.
why I have this podcast.
This beats sitting at home doing nothing.
Yeah, it's great.
And you got to go to a cowboy store.
Yeah,
But
that's all I gotta do.
so I had an idea of a song and I don't remember it now. Yes, I do. It's kind of random, but I heard an acoustic version that was so beautiful. It's a Celine Dion, not Celine Dion, Shania Twain. It's
love
not
that
Feel Like a
girl, though.
Woman. It's something else. It's like a
That don't impress me much.
no. It's a slower song. It's a beautiful.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. You're still
Bro.
still the one.
Oh, still the one.
Thank you.
Yeah,
You guys know that?
Yeah, that's my fucking biggest song on YouTube.
Do you cover that?
Yeah, on YouTube is
Oh,
my biggest.
well-
that was like my biggest breakout fucking moment I had in my whole life. Like, dude, that my version of that on YouTube has like 150 fucking million or something on it. It's insane how
Wow.
much that song changed my fucking life.
Well,
dude.
go watch it there. In addition,
It changed my fucking life.
Here's the new
Dude,
live acoustic
that was a big
version.
cover for you, huh? It wasn't Journey.
No, that was Journey was one way later on that when TikTok started. But when I was first doing YouTube, that was the one that really went. Let's see how much that fucking version has on it. And I just recently, dude, there's this video of Shania
You know the
Twain.
words?
I think so. Yeah.
There's this video of Shania Twain talking about it too, and they're like,
Cool.
you know, what is one of your favorite? She's like, Teddy Swims. I was just
Whoa,
like,
hell
yeah,
yeah.
177 million views
Holy
on it.
shamoly.
Could I
I
want to
play
do?
that on tour every day, still dedicated to my sweet mother, man.
Oh.
And then the video, I'm like, this is to my
What
sweet
key?
mama.
Do you know what key you do it in?
I think the original key is in D.
Well, it's the D minor boys.
And everybody's under 18. D minor ties.
Yeah, D minor tized.
Why can't I tune my?
Oh, she, dude, that era. I mean, she was just so fucking
Oh, yeah.
incredible, dude.
And she's
And when
so
she was-
beautiful
when-
too. I
when-
had such a crush on her for so many
Good
reasons.
God, bro. And her and Mutt Lange went together. You know, and they did that fucking. What's that one song? I'm keeping you forever and for always.
Oh, so
We will be together all of our days. Wake up every morning to your sweet face, always. Oh my God, what a fucking
Dude, he's a G.
Whoa,
Mutt Lange
bro,
is.
they were on fire then, bro. I strive for that. Like, me and my girl start writing, I'll be like, baby, can we get like Mutt Lange and Shania this time? That's how I want us to be right now, baby, every day.
I didn't even ask. I didn't realize that you write and your girl's a musician as well.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, race, man. She's the most incredible musician in the world. She's about to come do a tour with us for a couple weeks
Awesome.
on American Mama about to start. So.
Hell yeah.
Looks like we made it. Look how far we come, my baby. Might it took a long way. We knew we'd get there someday. They said, I bet they'll never make it. But just look at us holding on. We're still together, still going strong. You're still the one I want to, the one that I belong to. You're still the one I want for life. You're still the one that I love, the only one I dream. I'm still the one I kiss goodnight. You know the second verse?
Ain't nothing better
It's too high for me.
we beat the odds together. Didn't listen.
You take it over. You sound better.
We would be missing. They said, I bet they'll never make it. But just look at us holding on. We're still together, still going strong. Still the one I run to, the one that I belong to. Still the one I want for life. You're still the one that I love, the only one I dream of. You're still the one I kiss good night. You're still the one.
Yeah, does it do something different?
Yeah, it's just a little lead section. They come back to the chorus.
Awesome.
Tight deep, yeah.
Oh yeah, so good, dude.
Such a fucking good song, dude.
That sounds great, dude.
Play your King Washington song. What's it called again?
Oh, Highway 9.
This is George and his old band.
Okay.
An original song of
This one's
theirs.
probably not going to go on YouTube. This is just for you.
Can't wait.
Hey, I know I've said it already, and I hope that you guys are happy being here. But like, thank you so
man,
much
this is great.
for this.
Thank you, man.
I'm like, this is so cool. Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, thank you for just fucking popping
Thanks,
next
man.
door too. I'm just stoked, dude. This is great.
Thank you.
I was really hoping we were gonna kick on like this, and I'm really glad we are, buddy.
I really want you to come back again when I can have the piano
I'd
and
be
I can,
honored.
because I can't sing, and I want.
Hey, man, we'll work
All right,
it
cool,
out.
cool.
We'll work it out, bro. I can't wait.
I love it. All right. So I had a band for my 20s, basically those 10 years. Indie band. As we know now, bands aren't a fucking thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw, there was a clip recently going around on Instagram of this guy explaining how in the 80s and 90s, bands were, out of the top 100 every week, bands took up like almost 50% of the top 100. Now, in the past decade, only 3 times has a band been in the top 10, and it was, one of them was the Beatles, one of them was like a super group of solo artists that like just did something together and they count that as band, and one was actually a band that's modern. There are no modern bands. It
No,
doesn't
dude,
happen
I think
anymore.
even with the resurgence of like,
Lawrence
you
the
see
band.
like pop rock, or
They're
pop,
not in the top one. I mean,
Not yet.
Yeah,
But this podcast
there
is
are
gonna get on
bands.
there.
I'm just saying they're not like
I understand.
as big as
Yeah,
they're
I
not-
think even when you see like the resurgence of like when pop punk and stuff was coming back, it's all under like the guise of one person. I was just talking to my buddy. There's a good friend of mine in Dublin, and you know what I do. The reason Teddy Swim started working, we was always in a band together, me and my guys, and we're still in a band. But like as soon as we started doing covers, we rebranded it to Teddy Swims. It's still me in the same band, but if it's just one person, it just all of a sudden life changed when they just like when there was just one person to like, and it's and I was telling this my buddy, he now goes by Fake Saint, but he's working with his band for years, and I was like, dude, well look, I think the thing is too, and he's like, also my friends don't want to be in the interviews and they want to like do all this stuff and they just want to be in the band. I'm like, well, why don't you just like rebrand it to be like
Reband it.
you, yeah, and then it's you and your band rather than, and then they also don't have to be,
Teddy and the Swims.
yeah, you know what I mean. Teddy and the Swims, baby.
No, it's the smarter thing to do now.
And then so
Because
now
people are brands more than ever with people
Yeah, and
having
it's
access to you.
much
they
more
want the
digestible.
one, yeah, you know, and so it's
What a bummer for bandmates
Well,
that
that's the
want to
thing.
be also part of it.
My band, we were very Beatles-y, and in terms of our makeup, we were multiple lead singers. We would harmonize constantly. We would have, I would play lead guitar. He would do different. That we would. It wasn't like a one person lead singer thing.
Right.
It was like it was a band, you know. And it just anyway. All to say, we did it for 10 years. We tried our best. We did festivals. We opened up for bigger acts. We just never like made it over the hump. But we were good.
I think there's, I mean, I think it's a matter of time before that kind of comes back around too, and bands are fucking, you know,
Yeah, but it'll be in his 50s.
Everything circles back.
Exactly.
I mean, shit, Charles Bradley didn't have his fucking first hit till he's like 67.
I know,
man.
incredible,
You
right?
know?
I
And
love
it's
him.
like, it's never too late to fucking hit it. When
Yeah.
it makes sense, it makes sense, you know? It just-
Exactly.
There's also different outlets to put it out there. I've been telling him, and I'll tell you again, I want I want him to do this stuff that your London friend is doing, where you're playing on the street, and if not that, like social media-fying it.
I know.
I'm telling you, I don't know if everybody likes the exact things I like. If they don't, why not? But I can't get enough of your shit. And it's just like, that's another reason why I wanted you on the podcast. Not that this is going to be a big platform for you, but like, whatever. We can talk about it later. I just think you're incredible.
Even if there's a clip of him playing that first song and me and you crying, it's like, that's fucking.
I'm gonna title
absolutely, somebody else is going to feel like that for sure. Somebody else is going to get that blessing. And I think that's just something to cut and be like, dude.
I already have in my mind the thumbnail is
solving.
going to say, nobody loser makes Teddy Swims cry with his music.
Oh,
so then
stop.
people are going to give you like this nobody loser underdog who we give a chance to finally.
Nobody loser.
I'm telling you, that's how you brand it. If it's like, hey, here's my musician friend, whatever. Hey, here's this fucking guy who will like animate like you're missing a leg or something, and like look what he did, you know.
Jesus.
And you never knew your parents,
kid.
huh?
Make a wish, kid.
That's me, baby. That's me.
He never knew his parents. One leg, and look what he was able to do. Maybe even no arms. We'll have you do it with your teeth.
You know,
Anyway,
what's that one song? Or what's that? You know, Dewey Cox, where he's like, "I'm so impressed with all you've been able to do without a sense of smell." You know, he's like,
that's his challenge.
That movie's so fucking funny.
I haven't seen it in a while. I do remember I like being funny.
Dude, the music in that is so incredible, man.
So good, dude. Let's duet. You know that song?
Let's do it in ways that make us feel good.
You can always come in my back door. All right, here's my King Washington
Here I
song.
am creeping up behind you. Yeah, go for it.
I knew a man who gave up love and never had the chance to be a part of. So he sold his car and he pawned his mind and he hitched a ride along old Highway 9. When you run away, when you fight for pain, you could change your town, but you'll still be the same. A passerby, a nameless face, a man who came and went and was erased. Yeah, oh, the things I've done, all that I wanted to be, I feel them on the run. I hear them in the songs I sing. And oh, the only road, the only trail I see, must I go?
Yes, sir. That's great, bro. What? Yes, dog. Oh, wow.
So tonight I leave sobriety and all the damn demands that take so much from me. And liquored minds, unraveled souls, we're all just victims of the overload. Yeah, oh, the things I've done, all that I wanted to be, I feel them on the run. I hear them in the songs I sing. Yeah, oh, the only road, the only trail I see, must I go? Must I go? Must I go? Yeah, I knew a man who gave up love Don't ever lose your chance to be a part of.
Yes, sir.
Flagged.
That's King Washington, yeah?
King Washington.
Is that on Spotify I can find?
Yeah.
Fucking
King
right it is.
Washington.
Hell
That's Old
yeah.
Highway 9. We got 3 albums.
Fuck yeah, dude.
An EP or 2.
Damn.
This is
bro.
awesome.
That's beautiful, man. I'm gonna dive. I'm diving, bro. I'm
Dude,
diving.
hell yeah.
I'm diving.
Hell yeah.
I feel like
What I was doing at 2013 was so trash.
What do you mean? Why do you say? What is it? How did that even come into your
Well,
head?
it says
Is that- yeah,
2013
that's
when
what
it was released. I was like, what I was doing then
Gotcha.
was absolute garbage. My dog, it was so bad. But I mean, dude, to be
I
fair,
doubt that.
I was 20, I think.
I
so.
highly doubt that.
Oh, dude, I was in this shitty ass little metal band, and everybody was doing like fucking metalcore. And dude, you can still find my first like EP on YouTube. It's on the band Heroic Bear, and it's so bad. It's like garage recording, and we're just like screaming, and I just sound like absolute shit. I'm like, why would my friends tell me I was good at singing? I'm glad they did, but why would they tell me I was good at singing?
When do you
I'm
believe
so
that you were good?
curious.
I'm sorry. What were you curious about?
I'm curious to hear that. I wonder what your voice would
Is
sound like.
Is it on YouTube? Because we could swipe to a second of it.
Yeah, let me find one.
We'll put it in post.
Okay.
Or I mean,
No, yeah.
you can still send it, but like just for pacing.
If you find this, Nuns with Guns is a song.
Nuns with Guns.
Yeah.
All right, swipe to it.
You don't need to play the whole thing. Nuns with Guns is. And my buddy Thomas George, too, one of my favorites. He also sounds like shit at the time. We were trash, bro.
So leave in the comments.
You'll hear me on the chorus. You'll hear me on the chorus come in singing and screaming in the song. It's
Leave in the comments if you
trash.
agree with them or disagree with them and why. It could be a little thing. Yeah, it wasn't great. I think he's crazy. That was great, or anywhere in between.
Oh, it's fucking trash.
When do you believe that you were good?
Man, I think I always did, which is I think the delusion that got me here. I think I always did, but it was just like I do remember. I can't pin. I do remember there were some times where I was like, I don't know, man. I remember like there's always some fear about showing people a song, you know, and wondering if it's great, you know, and so I still have that same anxiety about showing people songs, and it's always you like judge yourself the most when you're like just proud of a song you just wrote. And you're like, hey man, can I play this for you?
Oh, yeah.
And then you put somebody through a demo, Joe, and you're like, it's always I feel like the people that are like so stoked about like if you're getting in an Uber on the way to the airport and he's got you like 6 songs in on his like mixtape and you're just like, this guy has like no self-awareness.
Is that a thing that happens often with you?
I think every time I play a song, there's like, I judge myself more. Like, I would feel like so good about it while I'm in the studio. But if I come back and I'm like, yo, Rick, look what we did tonight, and I play you something, I'll immediately go straight into judging myself so hard and being like, is this fucking good? Oh, actually, I think this is, you know, I think there's some delusion that you have to get to where you are, that like you have to think you're good, but like, you also have to be self-aware enough to be like, you're not ever good enough when you're showing somebody that you really
Well, you're also showing
you know?
people with certain expectations. Even if you're showing somebody, like you ever show somebody a movie that you like, or and like you watch them to see if they're laughing.
The whole time, yeah.
That's because you're that's a tough place for that person to be, you know? Like if you like something and somebody likes it, then you're like, good. And if you like something and they don't like it, does that make you not like it anymore?
You know, and that's the issue. It shouldn't, but then sometimes it can kind of weigh on you, and it can kind of like attach this new anxiety to a song that you're like afraid to show something. And it could be the greatest song sitting on your hard drive forever, but you showed it to a friend and he wasn't absolutely stoked on it, and
Right.
you were absolutely stoked on it, and now you're just like not ever stoked on it again to show anybody. And
Because
it
somebody
shouldn't define that, but some ways it kind of does.
Do you
sometimes,
connect to that?
know?
Oh yeah, especially like when you're showing someone the song, you've spent so much time on every moment of the song. You play 30 seconds goes by, a minute goes by. You guys are in the room together. Your friends like they're kind of, oh man, this is great, and they want to start talking and engaging with you. They're kind of like they don't want to actually sit there in silence and listen
Right.
to 4 minutes standing next to you. So then you kind of get offended. You're like, oh, like are you not going to sit here and listen in silence to my whole song? Like the bridge is great. Are we going to talk over it? So it's like this awkward thing.
You
where
want
it's like,
you want them to give you enthusiasm, but also you want them to shut the hell up, dude.
Yeah,
So you're like,
exactly.
there's this like.
But how much of that is the
Anxiety
song
that
versus how much of that is they're not in the place to sit down and listen for 4
Right.
minutes?
Well,
Like how
and
would
that's-
you know
it's
it's
the same.
not
And
that?
that's and you can't, and I think you should give yourself grace to
be there, like, and understand that, or like try to understand that. But when you're so attached to something and you're so close to something, and
that's
you're
the
not
only
getting,
thing. That's the only. That's the only judge of it. Then.
Yeah, exactly. You're the only judge of like what you're thinking, they're thinking, why they're thinking, what they're thinking, and you're thinking too, you know, and you're just like, and it's a anxiety that like, yeah, you got to some degree to give yourself some grace eventually, but I just don't know. I haven't mastered it.
I remembered one time in my life where I had a demo. I was hanging out with my best friend, his wife, my girlfriend, some people, and we were around a table, and I put on the demo, and they, in silence, listened to it, and then they wanted to hear it again, and they did it like a few times. It was the only time where it was like they were so into my demo, and it felt so good, and I'll never forget it.
Exactly
is that a song
storm.
that you think is one of your better songs?
I think so personally, but it's still it's like a little lo-fi acoustic thing. It's out. It's called "I Don't Need You, You Don't Need Me," and it's this beautiful like it's a really beautiful little thing. I'll play a tiny bit of it. It goes. And it has these great slide guitars that are beautiful on the recording. But I don't need you till it lasts. I don't need to see that look in your eyes. We've taken pictures. Is this little thing, and then the chorus goes, I don't need you, I don't need you, I don't need you anymore. I don't need you, I don't need you anymore. I don't need you, I don't need you anymore. It's just this cute little fucking ditty.
Dude, I'm always such a sucker for those like one-line choruses, dude.
Yeah, and it just repeats.
If you could just nail the
cascades.
right thing, it's like almost like every time you say I don't need you anymore, it's almost like a self-discovery every time you say it. And you're getting more stronger, and like it's almost like a self-affirmation. You're like, I don't need you. I don't need you. I don't need you.
Yeah.
I don't need you. You know, it's like it grows. It's like that kind of, it's such a masterful way of like when you get one line on one chorus and it just forever lives. And every time you say it, it changes the way that guy's reaffirming himself. It's like such a beautiful, I'm such a sucker for like a
You've commented on
chorus.
a bunch of devices that you like. Do you think about that? Like when you're going in, like, here are like some tools in my belt. I want to do something with this and this. Is that like, do you have a notepad of like
certainly,
key change and one note chord things?
Yeah, I've read
and
all
that's
this
part of your
shit now.
inspiration?
Yeah, and then I get so inspired by stuff like that where I'm like, yeah, why am I making things so difficult? You know, when I could just like, if it feels good, it's good. If it's the right word, it's the right word. You know, and there are always notes to get myself more out of my way, because sometimes what are we saying here in the story? Or was the story good to progressing? Or we, you know, and sometimes just saying the same thing over and over and over again. It's always goes down to the difference between, to me, it's always like, there's nothing really new under the sun when you're writing songs or saying anything. I think it's the difference between I love you versus I love you. And it's the same sentence, and it with such a different weight, you know. And it's like that's how that makes me feel. It's like it's that one sentence. It's just like, I don't need you anymore versus I don't need you anymore, you know. And it's like, and you get all those in that growth through the song, and it's just like it's like a, you know, he's learning as he's saying it, and he's self-affirming. It's kind of a cool, that's what I'm getting from it. You know, it's like such a cool thing that it's just the same thing over and over and over again. It's said, and in a way that is changing every time. And it's so inspiring to me to see that. It never has to be that damn difficult to be amazing, you know?
Yeah.
It can just be great, and the movement of the chord and everything. It's a fucking fantastic. That's fantastic, bro. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
Inspired the shit out of me. So thank you.
You do have a really good insight into these devices.
I've been noticing it.
Like you were saying. I'm not sure if you're. I'm not sure if you're just like. I don't know if you're like studied this stuff, or you just have great insights, because they're dead on. You brought something up earlier in writing your big song, "Lose Control." And it reminded me of, I got to hang with John Mayer a few times, talk songwriting.
God, what a fucking maniac,
this is a long. This is like over 10 years ago.
He's so cool, man.
When I was dating that famous person's child, and I got to hang out with like a bunch of cool people, and he was one of them. And one of the things he said about songwriting, it's a little specific, but it's a little device, and what you said totally reminded me, is that mixing between bell tones or like melodies that are a bit more like you playing them on a piano, and then riffing, and it's the interplay between simple and then riffing and like getting bluesy. And your song does, I lose control. So there's like this like simple, singable, everyone could do this, and even the big explosive part, whoa, 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 that's easy enough for people to sing, and then you add your thing that no one else can do afterwards.
And then you get everybody's like they want to hear it over and over again to yell it in their car by themselves until they can nail it. To one day they can be like, "Look, I finally nailed it!" Like show their friend, and it's the first thing they want to say.
But then they go see you live, and you're probably going to do something a little different.
Yeah,
and that's exciting.
And it's
though,
also it's like when we had thought about it, it was like the situation was like, you know, it's one of those things like similar to like a Tennessee whiskey, right? Where how Chris Stapleton covered it. It was like as soon as I go into a bar and there's a guy with an acoustic playing, or there's a karaoke and that song starts playing, I will listen through that first verse all the way through to the chorus, just because like I know like when that chorus comes, if that motherfucker doesn't nail that run, then don't bother, you know? And so like, if he's like, it's one glass of brandy. So if somebody's like, warm as a glass of brandy, it's just like, why the fuck did you get up there to sing that? You had all of us at the edge of our seat like, all right, that's a big sing, man. You sure you got that? You know, and it's so there's just a piece of it that just keeps you listening and keep you engaged through the shit that maybe you wouldn't want to listen to because you know this is coming.
Yeah.
You know, and it's yeah. I think John Mayer is like one of the greatest songwriters. He's done everything by himself too. At that, too.
There's a song of his that's been out for a little bit, but I discovered it recently that it's unbelievable. Is it? Will it come out in the water? Or is it in the blood? Do you know the song I'm talking about?
I do not know.
Do you know the song I'm talking about?
Whiskey, not whiskey, water.
John Mayer, In the Blood. Yeah, it's called In the Blood. I mean, I can't have it on here, but just so you guys know, I'll play for a second. Just to listen to the first lyric of it.
Wow,
dude! And then he goes on talking about his father and like,
Jesus,
will he let his light shine? Will he have this Will he be with a selfish love? Will he? And then how much of my brothers do my brothers want to be? And like, it's like, I mean, yeah, it's goosebumps. And also, he's just an amazing musician, performer as well. But like the lyrics, he's incredible.
He's brilliant, honestly.
Dude, he's done everything. I love him, man. It was December of a couple years ago. I think 2022, right? Almost 2022. But I had gotten to spend a day with him, and we were writing together. And he was trying to like co-writing, you know, and producing. We kind of like split a couple. I was playing keys and he was playing guitar, and we split a couple ideas of choruses and stuff. And we're meant to get back together. And when I talked to him, you know, I was talking to him about it. He's like, yeah, I've done like basically he's done everything by himself. He's just like not much of a co-writer. And so when I hit him up about it, I was like, man, I'd love to get back in. He's like, I'd love to give it another shot too, buddy. He's like, I tried my hand at this co-writing thing, and it just turns out I don't know if it was for me, and I just freaked out and I booked a bunch of tours like I always do. And I was like, he was just like, so I guess he gets kind of in his head when he's around. He doesn't have the same freedom around. And
no,
there's this one video I always use it's one of my favorite things he's ever said. He's talking about songwriting in an interview, and he says like, you know, and he starts kind of writing a song right in front of the person, the interviewer, and he's like, if you don't walk in immediately and you start playing chords and you're not Ouija boarding is what he calls it. Like if you're not Ouija boarding immediately, if you're not just yelling things out of your mouth, and it's because I think there's like this and Gabe Bondoc, man, a huge amazing fucking YouTube guy, man. He said this one time. He's like, man, there's ways to like write a melody to words, and there's ways to write words to melodies, but there's that ever so sweet spot where like you can catch every once in a while if you're brave enough, and it takes hardcore bravery, which I don't always have, which is like what John Mayer said, that says like you just start letting it out. Sometimes a melody and the words just happen at the same time, and they're perfect, and it's like just what your heart really needed to say, you know, and like rather than you thinking or having an intention or an emotion behind what you're doing, it just sometimes you're like your subconscious will let something out, and you're like, damn, I had no idea that's what I needed to say, or I was even dealing with that. It's almost like
Sounds like journaling.
Yeah. I find it very, very similar to when you open, I guess, stream of consciousness wise, you kind of get the same thing you get from almost a dream, or like if somebody were to ask you for advice, and I'm the quickest to give somebody the greatest advice, but if I'm going through the same situation, I'm shit out of luck on what the fuck to do, unless if I can write it down or just let it out of my heart, and I can read it back or listen back, and I can say, it's like I know how to give myself advice better than I can.
There's your next song titled "Read It Back." You take your journal, you read it back with a melody, and then you figure something else out and do something.
Read It Back that's a great song.
Yeah.
That's a cool thought.
And the arc of it could be like when you were hearing it but you weren't listening, like that 7-year song of like what it meant to you, and then like realizing what it is, and now how I see
that's
it.
That's a great idea.
Thanks, man.
Write that down.
You got some songwriting in you, bro.
I tell you something.
You're a writer for sure.
I'll
bro.
tell you something.
You're a great writer.
I said this to you once. I don't know if you remember this. I didn't follow this path. I really feel like I should have been a songwriter. I don't know what that means. I also don't really think that was my one thing. But like whenever I'm around this, I'm not saying I'm capable of it. I just know that like it is attractive to me.
Yo, you know how you're like said you were nervous that you weren't a good songwriter? You're excellent.
Thank you.
Very, very
You're
good.
fucking in it.
We got that. Thank you. That's the trailer.
You certainly are, man. You're already a great writer. I mean,
very creative.
Thank you.
You're a fantastic writer.
But when you add it to when you get to have a melody to either mirror it or to like I was saying before, like when you get to like you get to set expectations with whatever we're doing. And then you get to either then guide them into what that is, or switch it, or have undertones that like people who aren't listening might not know. I feel that way with stand-up stuff, not that it's good or bad. I'm just saying that like playing with expectations based off of not what I'm making you think, but just knowing this is what people are thinking. This is how people think. And I just feel like I've never really explored that with melody and with lyrics in a song. But I think that's why I'm so attracted to poetry now. Of just like, it doesn't matter what melody you put behind this. Like, don't think twice, I'm all right. Sounds like I'm fine, but really what he's saying is, you wasted my time. I'm not going to think twice about it. I forgive you. But it doesn't mean we're good. And like, I've heard that song so many times. I never really paid attention to it. And it's just like, it's so honest. It's so like you could be so honest. And with comedy, you could be so honest and funny. Sometimes they cannibalize each other.
Yeah, sure. I can see that. Yeah.
And with music, you have the benefit of adding the melody to, if it does cannibalize it, you could make that intentional and just be like, I'm forgetting what Sublime song, but I remember this Sublime song that I listened to. I'm like, this is fucking dark, but it sounds like a bop. I don't remember which one it was. I'm sure there's many. But like, there's I guess the equivalent to stand-up it wouldn't be stand-up, it would be a movie where you could score it and have different scenes. And I want to brag something. Because I don't think I've ever said on this podcast, because you talked about how Shania Twain said that your cover of "Still the One" is her favorite.
Yeah.
My grandpa was a producer, writer, arranger. He worked with a lot of artists, but most famously, he did arranged and produced all of Ray Charles's music once he went to Capitol, I think in '59 or something.
Another
Tons
Georgia
of stuff.
Boy, man. Another Georgia boy. Got the best there's ever been.
And
God damn, I love Ray Charles, man. Message for the People is one of the best albums ever, too, man. He's fucking the best.
Casey Abrams, I don't know if you know who he is, another amazing musician. Do you know Casey?
Not personally, but I know.
I became friends with him, and my first introduction to him was him on American Idol's audition singing Georgia, and it was crazy, which my grandpa did the strings to, and the arrangement to.
Really?
Yeah. And
Holy
he would do them. He would sometimes write for orchestras without even a piano. He would just sheet music and the math and but anyway, the brag I wanted to give was the Beatles were on Carson, and what is your favorite cover? And they said Ray Charles's. And I think they said, I don't know if they said Sid Feller. I've never seen it. My mom says they said Sid Feller, but whatever it was the arrangement that my grandpa did of Let It Be for Ray. And I just wanted to brag. I just think that's really cool.
Is he still alive?
No, he passed away 15 or so years ago.
Please just let me
cool?
talk to him, man.
It's really cool.
I would just be like, dude,
he's worked with everybody,
I was about
man.
to say, take me to Thanksgiving, bro. I gotta meet him, man. God
he
bless
was
him.
the most. he was autistic. I was trying to find a way of saying it, not that.
Certainly, yeah.
Like you had to do things. He was very straight, and like he would make his cereal and place the bananas on each thing, and like everything was perfect. I don't know why I'm telling you about all the OCD stuff my grandpa had, but like
Pass a little bit
if there was a
that to you,
movie
though,
about him,
didn't
it was a little savantish. What did you say?
I say pass a little bit of that to you, didn't he?
He gave me a little bit. He gave me the annoying part.
Gave you a couple tisms in there.
He gave me the tism where people are like, okay, like we get it. You could do a Rubik's cube. Just not now. I don't remember where we were, and we could wind it down.
My bad, I threw you off.
It was right before something. Oh, the journaling thing. Write it down. I think that could be a fun arc.
Yeah, read it back, baby.
Read it back.
All right. Well, what's your tour situation?
We leave tomorrow at 11 p.m. We hop on the bus and I'm hitting Reno. It's gonna just be big B market tour and for America. And so we start with Reno on the 6th.
What does B market mean? Smaller cities?
Yeah, basically like instead of Las Vegas, we're doing Reno. When we end the tour here, it'll be 2 shows in Anaheim versus Los Angeles. Basically, and like we're doing Savannah, Georgia, rather than Atlanta. Like just all not the main cities. So
how long are you on tour for, and where can people find you?
We're finishing this one October 21st and 2nd here at Anaheim, bro. So you guys come on out, man.
I would love to.
Yeah, I fucking will have a blast, man.
If you're free and want to go out, it would be a fun trip.
Yeah, bro. We'll have a blast, and I'll be ending the tour, so I'm gonna be on my shit, bro. I'm gonna be.
Well, this episode comes out last week of September in a couple weeks. So
they won't be able to get tickets anyway. It's sold out, man. But anyway, just
cool, dude.
We're always.
You got a couple for Anaheim, though?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I got you guys anytime, man. You, your mom, your dog, your next door neighbor, whoever the hell you want, man.
Could I open up the show doing 20 minutes?
Yeah, sure. Really? Come
Swipe
on.
to it.
That'd be fucking awesome. That would be hilarious.
Comedians used to open up for musicians.
I was joking, and even if you asked me to, I don't know if I would be so nervous, but I might. I would do that.
That would be so much fun.
Or at least like in the parking lot where people are coming in.
Hey, you got time for a quick joke? Hey, you got time for a quick? Just sell some bootleg T-shirts out there too, man.
And then I will open up. I'll do 5 minutes. I wasn't supposed to be here, but nobody would listen to me in line, so I'm going to do them right here. I have a joke that I like to call reading from my journal. Everyone's crying. It's beautiful. I'm like, what are you doing? All right. Well, I want to plug my dates. I'm going to plug my dates. This week, Saturday, unless it's Friday, Saturday, September 28th, I'll be at the DC Improv. November 6th, I will be at the Addison Dallas Improv. November 7th, Houston Improv. November 8th, 2 shows, Austin, Texas, Creek in the Cave. And next weekend, November 15, 16, I am in Seattle at Last Comedy Club. Go to punchup.live/Rick Glassman for tickets. I assure you, they're not all sold out.
What a radio voice, man.
I'm not sold out yet. I haven't gotten to that. Maybe the day of the show, they've been selling on the day of the show sometimes the smaller venues.
You're a fucking star, man. You're gonna have no problem, bro.
I ain't worried about it. You know why? Because I go up there and I'm honest. How much of my brothers do my brothers want to be? And sang the same song to some degree. John Mayer.
Country version.
Yeah. Oh, could you guys sing before we get out of here? Baby, lock them doors and turn the lights down low. Do you know that song?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, let me pull up the lyrics.
My audience loves that song.
That's a low sing.
Let me help you out. It goes like this. Baby, lock them doors and turn the lights down low. Get the music on the soft and slow.
That's a Chris Stapleton right, too.
Baby, we can do. Okay, go ahead.
Chris Stapleton wrote that song.
No, he didn't.
No way. What?
Yes.
Because he wrote it for somebody else.
Yeah, he wrote
Ted Turner,
it, and
right?
then Josh Turner.
Ted Turner.
Yeah, Josh Turner. Josh Turner ended up cutting the song, but yeah, that's a Chris Stapleton song.
Interesting.
There's a
Cool
version
to
of
know.
him playing it live on a radio station too. It's a song he wrote. It's quite nuts. Yeah.
Good. You could do it with a slider. I wanted something with a slider. What a closing.
Oh, I wasn't.
Baby, lock them doors and turn them lights down low. I can't sing soft and slow. Baby, we ain't got no place to go. I've been thinking about it all day long. That's such a low sing.
intertwined is strong.
That's great.
I love how much it turns me on just to be your man.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know that next part either. Let's see, what a verse and a hook. Because Chris Stapleton doesn't even have that low thing. They dropped it to like, and I think Josh Turner just came with that fucking energy or something out of it. Dude, I gotta show you if I can find it on.
I have one more request. Rascal Flatts, God Bless the Broken Road.
Oh, bro, guess. Okay, so this, bro, I just got recently, I don't know if we'll be able to put this in there, but they're actually doing a Fast Cars and Freedom. It's like one of the most well-written songs of all time. The lyrics in that song, I've never heard a better, I think the best chorus probably ever written is Fast Cars and Freedom.
I don't know that song.
Oh, he says, I see a dust trail following an old red Nova. Baby blue eyes, your head on my shoulder. But wait, baby, don't move right where it is. A t-shirt hanging on a dogwood branch. The river was cold, but we gave love a chance. Yeah, to me. You don't look a day over Fast Cars and Freedom. A sunset riverbank first I'm feeling.
That sounds familiar, but I don't really know
Ooh, what a fucking lyric. What a lyric, dude. I get chills. What a fucking lyric.
I set out on a narrow way.
What key is it?
Yeah,
wherever you want to sing.
That's it.
No, you want it.
Every long line, I think it's in there. Let me to where you are. Others who broke my heart, they were like northern stars. Carry me on my way into your loving arms. This much I know.
Don't blow it all yet. I got a tune more.
No, but you got to do me a favor. After True, people go in too soon. My mom does this when she sings. No, it's true.
That's right. It goes.
Let's take our time with this. This is our closing.
The breath. Yeah, you're right.
Yes, Queen.
Look at the lyrics.
I don't know the lyrics either.
That is it. Yeah. What a hit.
I'm sorry, everybody. I'm singing along a little too, but we'll lower
Out
this.
on a narrow way, being years ago, hoping I would find true love along the broken road. But I got lost a time or two while my brow kept pushing through. I couldn't see how every sign pointed straight to you. Every long lost dream led me to where you are. Others who broke my heart, they were like northern stars, pointing me on my way into your loving arms. This much I know is true. God bless the broken road, led me straight to you. Whoa! God, that song is so well written. And I think about the years I spent just passing through. I'd like to have the time I lost, give it back to you. Every long lost dream led me to where you are. Others who broke my heart, they were like northern stars, getting me on my way into your loving arms. This much I know is true, that God bears the broken road, led me straight to you. He does all that little cue, yeah. Whoa, well, my boy Gary can sing, bro.
Well, we just found our cold open.
Oh, that's yeah.
That's the jam.
Awesome.
So when my older brother moved out here, I took two of my little brothers. They drove out here from Georgia here to move my older brother in, and Gary happened to be doing like a solo performance at the Troubadour, and we went to go see him. And afterwards, like we went back, partied in his hotel a little bit, and my little brothers were like flipping out. They were just like so stoked. They were like, "Dude, you're so fucking badass! Way cooler than Victor Ray for bringing us over here."
If your mom were there, though, she'd be giving all the secrets.
It was beautiful though. We sat there and just fucking jammed and talked, and my little brothers got a drink with him, and they were just like sitting in the corner like so nervous and shy, and I was like, "Dude, fucking come in, hang out."
Cool,
dude.
man.
It's like the coolest shit ever to be like, "Yeah, dude, Gary from Rascal Flatts. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm that cool. Yeah, dude. I'm a big deal, guys. Swear to God."
This was awesome, dude.
I love it.
You're just always their big brother. They don't give a shit about what I do. I mean, they do. Like they love it, but I'm just still always their fucking big brother. So it's
Yeah, when you know somebody.
I'm famous, dude. Swear to God, dude. I'm cool, man.
Like, shut up.
Yeah.
All right, man. Bye.
Bye, dude. Love you,
Be
dude.
music. Hold on, stay there. I want to get a Polaroid.
Okay.
Dude, thanks for having me here. It was fun.
This was so cool.
Yeah, can we exchange some
Yes,
info,
please,
dude?
yeah,
I'd love
for
to
sure.
hang, and we'll do this again and write
Yeah,
some
yeah.
tunes and
Dude,
sing
let's do
some
it.
more, man. I would be honored, man. You are so intelligent, bro. It's so powerful. You are so good, man. You're really fucking good, man. I'd like to have the time I lost, give it back to you, yeah.
Can we do that again? Can you do that again?
Back to you.
Yeah, from the beginning of that verse. The beginning of the verse.
2, 3.
Think of the years I spent just passing through. I'd like to have the time I lost, give it back to you. Every blue school.